That's Team East today, coached by Ken Stills, the former veteran with the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings. And Jesse, once again, these players, this set of young student athletes will have the opportunity to travel a little bit, to skip some school, and to play one final high school football game here on the home of the Dallas Cowboys, the sacred ground here at AT&T Stadium. And some of them still looking for that opportunity to play college football at the next level. And a star is going to be born here today on the home of the Star.
Ryan, it's good to be with you, man. I'm always excited about this type of game, and this game in particular, because one, you get a chance, like you said, to miss school, but you get a chance to play one final game in a place like AT&T Stadium. As someone who has played professional football for this franchise in this place, I've had friends from across the league, grown-up professionals who are like, man, we love playing in Cowboy Stadium. So I can only imagine what it feels like for these young student athletes. And some of these kids, we're in this COVID situation, the world that we live in today. Some of these kids have had their seasons canceled. Some of these kids have had their seasons cut short. Some of these kids have had, no football at all. So to have the ability to come out here and play in a game like this, to showcase your skills, to put yourself on the market, is a phenomenal one.
And speaking of former Cowboys, George Teague will be the head coach today of Team West. They're in the gray jerseys, just came out of the huddle a moment ago, out of the tunnel here at AT&T Stadium. George Teague, the former Dallas Cowboy and Green Bay Packer. We're glad to have you with us. The kickoff is coming up here in just a moment. We're going to pause for the national anthem here inside AT&T Stadium as we get you ready for the third of four Class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls. The first two have been very entertaining, including the second one that we had for you last week, a 25-24 win for Team East in a back-and-forth affair. And we'll pause now for the national anthem. Just moments away now from the opening kickoff, the East versus the West in the Class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Should be an exciting matchup. Ken Stills, the head coach for Team East, against George Teague, the coach for Team West. Ken Stills, coincidentally, now 2-0 in these games in the Class of 2021. His East team had a 36-17 win back in December here in Arlington, and if you'd like to go back and watch that game, it is available in its entirety on the Impact Football Network. And so if you're a college coach joining us today, we're glad to have you with us as you look to round out your college football roster. You're going to like what you have to see in front of you here today as both of these teams come in looking to put on a show here at AT&T Stadium. And, for my money, Jesse, just to your point a moment ago, the best football stadium, no question, in America, in the NFL, in the world. And I haven't even been to all of them. I know you've been to certainly more of them than I have. But of the 4 or 5 that this game has been played in over the years, this is by far the benchmark that everybody else is sort of trying to get to in the National Football League.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this place is top of the line. From the art on the walls to what is this, a 50, 60, 70-yard screen. I mean, you don't miss a play with this type of screen. But the thing that I love about this place the most is when it's packed. This is one of the loudest places in America when it's packed. And so we got limited fans in here today. They're going to bring the noise, all game long and cheer on, as my mom would say, cheer on her baby, cheer on their babies today. And you know what I like about this football game as well? We've done about 3 or 4 of these now together. And there's always a player or two who may not have been on the radar prior to this game, and they come into this game and they shine. And that's the great thing about sports, is that on any given day, as long as you're out there, you have an opportunity to impact the football game. And so I look forward to finding my pet cat, as they say in the scouting department, in today's game.
There's no question. You're right. It happens every game. A guy that we have no idea who he is. He's not on our radar at all. It's all we can do to stop talking about him for the entire afternoon. As the opening kickoff is launched into the end zone, it'll be a touchback, and Team East will start with the football first. 1st and 10 in the blue jerseys at their 25-yard line. And for the East team in the blue jerseys, they're going to be a bit short-handed in the quarterback department today. It's going to be Jalen Macon taking a majority of the snaps. He is a University of Arkansas Pine Bluff commit out of Hillsborough High School in Tennessee. And he's a big kid, 6'5", 225 at the quarterback position. We're going to take a look at him here early for Team East in the blue jerseys. McCon looks across at a 4-man front, and Team East starts with an end around. Coming to the near side is Jordan Polk. And this is a nice run out across the 40-yard line. I beg your pardon. It's Omar Pickett, the receiver out of Cook High School in Georgia. And he's got a first down and a gain of 17 on the game's first play.
I'm disappointed. We saw the same play last week and went for 95 yards and a touchdown. This one only gets 17 this week. So I was looking forward to see. I was like, they're going to run the same play they ran last week for a touchdown. And they did. It picked up 17 yards, but I was kind of like, man, I want to see if they can go for 90 again.
Well, the players obviously don't know that, but the coaches do, certainly. There's a handoff on first down. Nice little dance move around the defender. And crossing the 45-yard line, getting up to about the 48 is Connor Wilson out of Sullivan Central High School in Tennessee. He made a couple of nice moves right at the line to pick up 6.
You love to see running backs with good vision, being able to find the hole, get through the hole, and then do their little dance. But you don't want to see too much of it, but do your dance and then get north and south and pick up as many yards as you can.
So now 2 running backs will come in the backfield, with Macon in the shotgun with a slot to the right on 2nd down and about 5. And he's going to hand it off once again to Wilson, and Wilson does a nice job to cut up the field. He will cross midfield and get into West territory. A first down carry for Connor Wilson to the 42-yard line, and they've run it well on the first 2 plays.
Just coming out in the game, you kind of want to establish the line of scrimmage, be able to assert your dominance early on with the run game. And then off that, we see everything now is done in the shotgun, but being able to run the ball effectively allows for play action passes that they'll come down in the game later on and do.
Macon is going to go back to throw and comes to the near side, incomplete. Intended for Grant Goodman out of St. Xavier High School in Kentucky, and that incompletion will set up 2nd down and 10. And let's make a correction. Barika Kapinu out of West Fargo Cheyenne High School in North Dakota, committed to go to North Dakota State. He was the guy who got that last carry for a first down for Team East. And so now the incompletion off the dropped pass by Goodman will set up 2nd down and 10. Team East on its first possession of the game. And now they're going to pitch it to the left. This is Alec McEwen, and McEwen will cross the 40 and be taken down right there after a short gain. Here comes 3rd down, a chance for the Team West defense to get off the field.
One thing I love about DBs, right? If you can cover, great. If you can shut down a receiver, great. But if you can come up and make tackles in the run game, that separates you from every other DB in your class, in the country. That's a rarity now in football. DBs who are willing to come up and make tackles. We just saw one right there on that last play.
Definitely a valuable aspect of any team and just fun to watch when the safety comes up into the box, is able to put a hat on a hat and make the tackle. And now 3rd down and 8. Macon with 2 on the play clock has to hurry, got the snap off, and maybe he didn't. Whistles will blow this play dead. We have a timeout first, called by Team East, just underway in the first quarter at AT&T Stadium with no score. 3rd and 8 when you come back.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Taking a look at the Team East offense huddling up before a 3rd down and 8 play coming up. Ken Stills, the head coach, and Rodney Beasley, the offensive coordinator, NFL veteran trainer with the Carolina Panthers. And they will get ready to line up for a crucial 3rd down and 8 on the opening possession. Ball at the 40-yard line of the West. So what do you think, Jesse? Possibly 4-down territory depending on what happens here on 3rd down. Macon will be in the gun with 2 running backs. Capino will get the carry behind right guard, and Capino fights for the 35-yard line. It's going to be a few yards short of a 1st down, but right there, that play call, I think, said everything. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
And you like the aggressiveness earlier in this football game. One thing about, when you're a player and a coach goes for it on 4th down, it gets you excited as a player because your coach is saying, I believe in you guys, I trust you guys. Now you got to go out there and execute so that you make the coach right in that situation.
Capino again will get the carry, starts, then stops, then starts again, and is right at the stick. He has enough for a 1st down. That's a great carry of the football right there by Barika Capino to find the seam and get the 1st down.
That's some tough running right there. That's putting your head down. That's not a lot of dancing. That's knowing I got to go get 4 yards to keep this drive alive. And the only thing that's standing in front of me and that 1st down marker is the defender. Put your head in his chest and drive those legs and go get a 1st down.
Joe Malone out of Northside High School in Alabama, the left guard, got the block that helped Capino, and now a throw across the middle pass is caught. And down inside the 10-yard line, Matthew Spofford with the catch. Good timing route there between he and Macon. And a 1st down and goal is coming up for Team East.
You want to know what made that play possible? The fact that Coach Stills and his team has run the ball effectively all the way down the football field. So now linebackers are thinking, well, here comes another running play. And they step up into that formation of saying, I got to stop the run. And then they throw a slant route right behind their head. So the running game opens up the passing game and allows you for plays like that.
And on 1st and goal, a slant pass for Grant Goodman is broken up, incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. There may have been some contact prior to that ball getting there. The officials will talk this over. Just over 13 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. This is the first possession of the game, and pass interference is the call against Team West. That will move the ball half the distance to the goal. It'll be 1st and goal once again, this time from the 5-yard line.
Sometimes those DBs get a little bit antsy, get a little bit physical when they get there just a little bit too early. You saw that happen on this one, but he had the right mindset, though. Go after the football. It just happened to be a little incidental contact before the football got there.
DeJuan Singleton out on an island against Grant Goodman. Play fake and throwing into the end zone for the touchdown. The pass caught by Jared Smith. Well-designed play there by Team East. And it ends in the end zone. The touchdown from McCon to Smith. And it's 6-0 Team East.
Wow, that was a great job by Ken Stills and his offense early on, just coming out and really working the ball down the football field. And the play that they ended it on, it's one that we see often in the NFL happening right now. It's sprint right option. And all they do is that guy in the slot, they want to just create a little bit of a pick from the guy on the outside. So he runs a slant or like a sit-down route, and he makes that DB have to make a decision. Either you're going to go over the top or you're going to be in a trail position coming underneath, which still gives my wide receiver the opportunity to get the touchdown. And you saw it run to perfection right there by Team East. That's a great opening drive right there. That's the way you start a football game.
Logan Seibert with the extra point, 7-0 Team East, just under 13 to play in the first quarter.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Good ideas catch on fast. Good clean food, even faster. Now delivering for lunch and dinner. Panera, food as it should be.
Team East with a 75-yard touchdown drive culminates in a touchdown catch by Jared Smith from Jalen Macon. And now the ensuing kickoff coming here from Logan Seibert, Shanderick Powell, and Jalen Davis waiting back deep at the goal line to take the kickoff. Good job of mixing the pass and run on that drive from Team East. And now Seibert's ensuing kickoff bounces out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be first down for Team West in the gray jerseys from their 25-yard line. And for Team West, we'll see a mixture of three different guys calling the signals today. It'll be Raymond Foster to get us going out of Silsbee High School in Texas. 6'2", 195 quarterback for Team West and Coach George Teague. And as we'll see for the majority of the day, we'll have the offenses huddling up to get the play call in. As you get a look at Raymond Foster in the backfield with two running backs. Darice Steptoe, number 2, will get the carry on first down, trying to get to the outside, and he will be stood up and driven out of bounds for a loss. Good starting play by the East defense. Kyle Feger was one of the first guys there out of Trinity High School in Kentucky to knock him out.
And one thing that we have to mention, what a remarkable job by all of these coaches and more importantly these players. These guys had 2 days worth of practice, 3-hour practices. So a total of 6 hours of actual practice time and being able to come out here and execute these plays to the very best of their ability. So hats off goes to the coaches, but even bigger hats off to these student athletes for being able to pick this offense up so fast.
Foster back to throw, and he's in a lot of trouble.
Fumble.
He lost the ball, and it's picked up by Team East. Here's the return to the end zone.
Wow, rumbling, tumbling.
Touchdown. Matthew C. out of Ohio, and Archbishop Alter High School picked up the fumble and rumbled his way to the house. Touchdown, Team East. They are up early here now, 13-0, as you see C take it out of the stack and then just carried Darice Steptoe with them to the end zone.
I love it. I love when the big boys get an opportunity to show their offensive skills. And see, he came in there and ripped the ball away from the quarterback, and he said, I know what to do with this thing. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to high step my way into the end zone for a touchdown for Team East.
And just like that, 20 seconds after the first touchdown is scored by the Team East offense, the Team East defense says, watch this, and makes it 14-0 after the extra point. Let's check in downstairs now with the third member of our team, Jada T.
When you can leave this one. I'm here with Brady Lichtenberg. Now your side is up 14-0. Tell us how that feels.
It's definitely a good feeling to be winning. I feel like we've practiced really hard this week and these 2 days, and it's definitely paying off right now, and we're off to a good start.
Now we heard that you're committed to Cincinnati. Tell us that whole process in making that decision.
It was definitely a long and enduring process, but I think Cincinnati and Coach Fickle did a great job of making me feel at home. And ultimately that, compared to other schools, was just the best fit for me academically wise. And then with them being ranked in the top 10 right now, I think that was the best choice for me and my family.
All right, and what is one thing that you're going to take here to the next level?
I think just learning from the NFL veterans that have been able to coach us and meeting new guys from all over the country that I would never have met before this. I think that was one of the coolest things about this, and I think I'll just take those relationships with me to Cincinnati.
Thank you so much. We'll take it back up to you guys.
All right, Jada, thanks very much. Brady Lichtenberg headed to Cincinnati as a quarterback, 6'2", 190 out of St. John's Jesuit there in Ohio. Not sure that we'll see him in the game today. He's nursing a little bit of an injury, but a very good quarterback headed to Cincinnati to play for Luke Fickell. And I thought one thing that he said there, Jesse, was interesting about Cincinnati being ranked in the top 10. It's amazing what success can do for your recruiting.
Absolutely, absolutely. People want to be around winners. That's just the way it is, and when you're winning and you have the national visibility and you're playing good football, people want to be a part of that, and that's how you build a really good recruiting base. It starts on the football field, and people see it, and they want to come be a part of it.
So Team West will try it again now with a new quarterback. Shanderick Powell is the running back here. He gets the carry on first down, and there's just not much room to work against this Team East defense. Number 67, Matthew Mooney out of Paducah Tillman High School in Kentucky made that tackle. Gain of just a couple to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Team East defensively on that line, they're recreating the line of scrimmage. What do I mean? The ball is positioned at one place. At the snap of the ball, who's winning that tug-of-war battle? If at the snap of the ball, the defense is on the other side of the offensive line, they've recreated the line of scrimmage, and they've got penetration that makes it really hard for the running back to find holes to run through.
And Dalen Powell is the quarterback on this series. Going to go back to pass on 2nd down, dumps it off into the flats, and here's a big play. The pass was caught by his brother, Shanderick Powell, and Shanderick down the sideline will be knocked out of bounds deep into Team East territory. That's the connection at Hoaxie High School in Arkansas that led to a lot of plays just like that one. And the two brothers are going to continue that next season at North Alabama as you see Shanderick Powell get loose in space down the sideline.
You love the brother-to-brother connection. Hey, bro, listen, we need a play. I'm going to throw it to you in the flat. You just go get it and go get us a play. You know how we did in high school these last couple years? Yeah, let's go do that again right here. And you saw the connection, and wow, that was a great play. Great call by Coach Wallace. What he's done is allow that defensive aggressiveness to bite Team East in the butt by throwing the ball into the flat because everybody's rushing upfield so fast.
Now 1st down for Team West inside the East 25. Handoff Shanderick Powell. Nice job to cut up the field. And he'll cross the 20 and get down to around the 15-yard line before forward progress is stopped. Gain of 9 for Shanderick Powell. 2nd down and short coming up. And what a dynamic duo headed to North Alabama. The quarterback, Dalen Powell. His brother, the running back, Shanderick Powell. North Alabama getting a really good pair of offensive players. And we're getting a chance to witness that right now as those two enjoy being on the field with one another together once again.
Ryan, do you have any brothers?
I do not.
No. You the only child?
I have an older sister, but no brothers, unfortunately. It's one of my, obviously I have nothing to do with it, but a regret that I have in my life. Here's Dalen Powell. He's going to run it and be upended just across the 15-yard line. Good tackle out in space there made by Team East as Powell picks up a couple. That is good enough for a 1st down as we take a look at the replay. Powell showing his capability as a dual threat guy. And a nice tackle there after a short gain. 1st down now for Team West. They are at the 13-yard line of Team East. In a hole here early, 10:45 to play in the 1st quarter. The East with a 14-0 lead, but Team West trying to show that it's not going away quietly here today.
Getting points in this drive is so critical. With this team being down 14-0 early, you need to get points in this drive right here just to kind of stable things out and say, hey, we're still in this football game, this thing isn't over, and they may get it right
And
here.
here's Dalen Powell off the fake handoff. He will score, showing the speed to get to the outside. Touchdown, Team West. Boy, look at this as Powell just outruns the linebacker, outrunning Jonathan Bruder there and getting to the corner and sneaks inside the pylon for the Team West touchdown. The extra point will cut the lead in half.
When the quarterback's running those RPO, those run-pass options, it always breaks down to, okay, listen, we can block 10 of these guys, but you're going to have to make one of them miss. Now, whether that's by juke move, whether that's by trickeration, whether that's by sheer speed and athleticism, you got to make one guy miss if it's going to be successful. They blocked 10 guys up. He made one guy miss, and he sauntered into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a great way to answer what has happened to them these first two drives, with the long drive for a touchdown by Team East, and then the fumble return for a touchdown by Team East. Being able to answer back, saying, "Hey, we're still in this thing. We're not going away. It's going to be a long, competitive day, and you got to deal with us."
Well, I got to tell you what, after watching that drive right there by Team West, if you're a fan of the North Alabama Lions, you got some good things coming your way over the next 4 seasons.
And I asked about, did you have a brother? I'm the middle of 3 boys, so there's 3 of us, and just that competitive fire. You got someone to push you. You got someone with you every single day. When you don't have the energy, your brother's there to kind of lift you up and pick you up. So being able to see these 2 guys play here together and go off to college together is going to be something special, and I'm pretty sure it's fun.
Here comes the return by Team East. That's Jalen Castleberry out of St. Edward High School in Ohio, receiving a lot of interest from the MAC, and gets the return out to the 20-yard line. That's where Team East will start. And I rectified that problem in my married life. I've got 2 sons, and so I am excited to watch that as they grow up. I can't imagine what Dalen and Shanderick are experiencing here in Arlington this week, getting to play in the same place as the Dallas Cowboys. And right there, led their team right down the field. Both of those guys key parts of that touchdown drive. And now the handoff for Team East on first down. This is Jameer Ackerson out of Newport Central Catholic High School in Kentucky, and he will gain a couple up to the 24-yard line. So second down coming up for Team East. Once again out there as the quarterback is Jalen Macon, the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff commit. We're going to see a steady dose of him today, as he's really the only healthy quarterback for Team East. He's going to hand it off here on second down. Right up the middle comes Theron Davis, the Memphis commit out of Newport High School in Arkansas. A lot of Arkansas kids in this game here today. And right there, it's Davis gaining about 6 to set up third down and 2.
One thing this game always shows me is just how much talent is all over the country. We got guys from Arkansas and Arizona and Alabama and Texas and California and Ohio and Virginia. I mean, there's guys all over the map. Kentucky, Utah. You see these talented athletes, man. There's so much talent all over the country. And if we have young listeners, if we have older listeners, the one thing that I do know when it comes to being recruited to go to school, that we live in such a virtual world that no matter what, coaches can find you. If you have talent, coaches can find you. And it doesn't matter if you go to the big Alabama schools or the Clemson schools, because the NFL scouts will find you. That's the greatest thing about being in a sport like this, is that the talent is plentiful, but also the eyes looking for the talent is plentiful. So no matter where you go, if you're talented, someone will find you.
Now, there's no question about that. Anthony Ballard, the intended receiver on that last pass by Macon, incomplete. Now Macon back to throw again. Somehow gets it out of there to Davis, but it's incomplete. And so it's going to set up third down and 10. That's good pressure put on by Team West. Dylan Lemon from Spanish Springs High School in Nevada was one of the guys in the backfield there putting the hit on Macon as he threw. Here comes third down and 10. And to your point, Jesse, a fun exercise for any of our viewers today who are currently in high school looking to possibly go play college football, just think of your top 10 favorite NFL players and then go look up what college they went to. My guess is that at least a couple of them went to somewhere you never even heard of.
No, you're absolutely right.
Think about guys like Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens, and even some of the quarterbacks that we have in the National Football League. Drew Brees, who went to a Purdue.
Right. Look at a guy like Cam Newton, who was the MVP of this league. He ended up at Alabama, but he had to go to Blinn, and then find his way back to places like Auburn and stuff like that. Carson Wentz, North Dakota.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different quarterbacks or players in general that you don't know about where they went to school at, but talented enough, they found their way to the league.
Here's the punt now by Gabriel Nwosu, and it's a good one. It will back up the return man to the 15-yard line, and here comes the return to the near side for DeAndre Exford out of Colleen Shoemaker High School in Texas. There was a devastating block in the middle of that play, and Exford will finally be tackled up at around the, let's see here, about the 25-yard line or so.
That's a good block. And you know who made that block? One of the brothers, the Powell brothers. And I have a special place in my heart for special teams. That's how I made my hay and made my way in the National Football League. And I tell kids all the time, you want to get the coach's attention, you want to find your way on a roster, you want to find your way on a school, be able to play special teams. Now a coach has to find a way for you to get on the field, make you active every single week, because special teams are a critical part of any successful football team.
And now we'll see our third of three quarterbacks for the West team, Cameron McCoy, who is headed to Missouri State, and he flips it out to the right on first down. That's going to be incomplete, intended for the running back, DeAndre Exford, who just had the punt return. And it'll be second down and 10 coming up. And, one thing that I've noticed just as a fan of college football is that some of your top 5 or top 10 programs on special teams, you'll see a lot of the starters out there. Coaches are taking making special teams very important. And you just see the teams that don't really care about special teams. Those just aren't good football teams. And making that an important part of your own resume as a player goes a long way. Here's a nice fake handoff. McCoy will keep it himself. He's running free into the second level and will cross the 40 and get up to about the 45-yard line. Nice run by Cameron McCoy, the running back, on the zone read keep around the left end.
And to follow up on your special team point, well, they're making it important because it's important. And the thing that makes special teams important is you don't get 4 or 5 tries at it. It's a one down. It's one down for you to do something special, and there's a lot of hidden yardage in special teams. If you can get a good return, or if you can back a team up and make them have to drive the length of the field, or if you can get a good return and now give your offense a short field. So you want to put your best players out there as much as you can to give yourself the best advantage at producing success.
This pass is off of the hands of the intended receiver, Devontae Davis, at a Padre High School in Colorado, receiving a lot of interest from the Mountain West Conference. That pass a little too hot to handle from Cameron McCoy. It's going to be second down and 10. A.J. Gonzalk, a receiver out of Veterans Memorial High School here in Texas, is out on the field now for the first time. 6'2", 200 pounds. Receiving interest from the Southern Conference. He's going to be lined up to the top of your screen here, wide to the right, number 81. And McCoy in the pistol on second and 10. Going to turn and hand off. And a good run right up the middle to around the 50. Getting the carry for Team West was Jalen Davis, the running back out of Katy High School. His Katy Tigers won the state championship game here at AT&T Stadium about 9 days ago over Cedar Hill. A big win for Katy in the 6A Division II state championship game. And Jalen Davis, a big part of that, 5'11", 195 running back.
Speaking of Texas high schools, what Texas high school has produced the most professional athletes. Is it Katie?
It's got to be them or somebody else. You know, I can't imagine it being anybody but Katie. That's a good question, though. Good trivia question for sure. And McCoy, the quarterback, will try to run it here. Good vision downfield, and he finds the corner. Cameron McCoy with a good run from the quarterback spot gets into Team East territory, has a first down to the 36-yard line.
Coach Wallace and this West team, they found something with these quarterback runs. They found that this defense isn't staying home. They aren't being honest to their responsibilities. You're supposed to, if you're a defensive end rushing upfield, got to keep your outside hand free. And they found something on both sides of this thing is being able to get that quarterback in that RPO and get them outside of the pocket for big, huge runs that have kept drives alive and moved the ball down the field and scored touchdowns.
I'm talking more about Jalen Davis, the running back from Katy. The Katy Tigers won their 9th state football title. That's second all-time in any classification in the state of Texas, second only behind Aledo, which has produced a lot of good players over the years, specifically 2 running backs, Jonathan Gray, who went to Texas, Jace McClellan, who is currently at Alabama as a 5-star running back. And Jalen Davis in that state championship game, 23 carries for 109 yards, and his team won 51-14 in the state championship game. That is domination.
That is.
Over a Cedar Hill team who was undefeated coming into that game. A timeout called on the field. Team West is now ready to go. First down. They're at the Team East 36-yard line. 14-7. The East got out early with a 2-touchdown lead. A touchdown pass to Jared Smith from Jalen Macon, and then a fumble recovery for a touchdown returned by Matthew C. Team West answered with a touchdown run by Dalen Powell, and now they're cooking again offensively on East's side of the 50. And they are going to run a trick play. And around coming to the near side, and a block at the point of attack. And a good run by Jack Pospisil of Pomona High School in Colorado. Penalty flags come in after the play. And the officials will get this sorted out.
Looks like Denham Brown, number 61.
Again, that same play that has produced big yardage. As you see George Teague down there helping out, getting his players calmed down. And the officials still talking amongst themselves as they try to sort this out. We have 2 penalty flags down on the play. 7:13 remaining in this first quarter. I'm Ryan Castle alongside Jesse Holly. Jada Teague is down on the sidelines as well. Hope you're enjoying your, just whenever you're watching this broadcast. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Not at all what you might expect in late January with the game time temperatures. Right now it's 66 degrees with the doors and the roof closed here at AT&T Stadium.
That's what I love about Texas. It's the middle of January. We're talking about nearing 70 degrees in the weather. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I don't want any parts of cold anymore. My old brittle bones don't take that well.
So the penalty here is being assessed to Team West. I believe we did have an ejection of a player here, and so unfortunate to see that happen in a game such as this, but that'll be, I'm sure, a learning opportunity for that young man as he unfortunately will not be able to re-enter this ball game. George Teague is down there wondering why wasn't that offsetting? Maybe why wasn't there a penalty also called on Team East. I'm not sure that George is going to win that conversation, but that might, lead to something beneficial down the road for him, maybe later in this game. We'll have to wait and see.
And you hate to see it on all fronts, right? You hate to see the players get into it because it's not what you're here for, right? You're not here for fights. You're not here for any of that. This is an opportunity for these young men to play in their last high school football game and give themselves an opportunity to find a scholarship, to find schools, and to go out there and showcase their talent. You don't want to see a kid get into a fight, and you definitely don't want to see a kid get ejected from an all-star game.
So the ramifications on the field for Team West, the ball will be moved back to the 44-yard line, so they're just penalizing them 9 yards here. It's 1st and 19. And so it's really not a drive killer necessarily if they can get some penalty yardage back here. Cameron McCoy is the quarterback, and he's going to go back to pass on 1st and 19. Clean pocket down the middle, caught, running free for a touchdown, Jack Pospisil. That'll erase a penalty.
Absolutely.
45 yards on the strike across the middle from Cameron McCoy.
And he just ran a seam route. Slot was playing in the slot, ran up the seam. The safeties got a little bit too far off the hash. And I don't know if he thought he had some help on the backside, but he left that middle wide open and the quarterback found his guy for a 40-yard field goal. For a 40-yard touchdown.
And the extra point is good, and just like that, Team West has erased a 14-point deficit here at AT&T Stadium. We start over at 14, all 6:50 to play in the first quarter. Back to Arlington in a moment.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Because of this, we made Ford Super Duty the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Because of this, we built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and best-in-class payload.
Rescue 614 en route.
Because of this, we built Ford Ranger with the terrain management system. And because Ford trucks are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Back here in Arlington, 14 all as Team West has come back from an early 14-0 deficit. And Jesse, they've had two really nice offensive possessions put together back-to-back. Here's the ensuing kickoff, and you can forget it. That will go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And so Team East, all of a sudden now in a dogfight here in the first quarter, 6:49 to play, and we're tied again at 14.
They found some rhythm. They've been able to find a consistent rhythm on offense, running the ball outside, right? They were trying to get it up the gut, and it just wasn't happening for them. And they found out and said, hey, we got to run some of these RPOs, run some of these reverses, get the ball on the edge, because Team East hasn't been disciplined enough with their rush up the field of keeping their containment, and they found something. Let's see how they respond.
So Jalen Macon back in to work as the quarterback, will hand off up the middle on first down. And not much there against the Team West defense on the carry. Javon Goodson, number 19. He's out of Ginn Academy in Ohio, 5'8", 200 pounds. And he's in there at the running back position right now alongside Trevon Moore, who is out of Eastern High School in Kentucky. Those are the two guys right now playing running back for Team East. Jalen Macon is the quarterback. He's the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff commit out of Hillsborough High School in Tennessee. Big number 18 right there at 6'5", 225, and he's going to come to the near side on the option, and look at the big man rumble to the 30-yard line. Has his knees taken out from underneath him on that play. The tackle made by Joshua Goins out of Faith Lutheran High School in Nevada. Gain of 5 brings up second down. Third down, I beg your pardon, coming up.
I don't know with the limited quarterbacks that I have available from our team. I don't know if I want to have my quarterback running the ball outside like that, where you know a lot of these guys are going to go for your knees. You would hate to see anything happen to them and they'd be down to a receiver playing quarterback. So I might want to keep my quarterback in the pocket and let the receivers and running backs do all the running.
Team East does have a couple of emergency options, but as far as guys who play quarterback on a regular basis, Macon is it, and he's going to be run down from behind. Tackle made by Dylan Lemon, number 53, with the sack out of Spanish Springs High School in Nevada. Puts an end to that drive. It's time to punt for Team East. And they've gone 3 and out on back-to-back possessions now after scoring a touchdown on their first drive.
Yeah, Dylan Lemon, he'll get credit for the sack, but that play was made by number 92. He really penetrated that offensive line, got the quarterback off his spot, and made him have to now get uncomfortable and release out to his left, which caused Dylan Lemon to get the sack.
That's Dante Lopez, and now the punt by Gabriel Nwosu is a high spiraling punt. No chance for a return as a fair catch is called for and made at the 33-yard line. So Team West taking back over here, 4:34 remaining in our first quarter. And the momentum is clearly with the West team, and George Teague, Seneca Wallace, the offensive coordinator, doing a good job calling the game right now. And we're going to see Raymond Foster back in there now, Jesse. He had a fumble that was returned for a touchdown on his only play from scrimmage. It's been a long time since he's been out there, so we'll see if he's able to shake that off.
When you're a quarterback, you have to understand that the most important thing on the football field is the ball. So whether that's you handling the ball in the pocket, running the ball, or throwing the ball, you gotta take care of the football. And when a play's dead, just don't fight for any more yards. Just go down and not turn the football over.
Donovan Zuniga gets the carry there on first down. He's 5'9", 192 out of Stony Point High School in Texas. And got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 10. Raymond Foster, 6'2", 195, played his high school football at Silsbee High School, right here in the Lone Star State. Left-handed quarterback checks his wrist for the play call. Has 2 receivers and a flex tight end to the left. And on second and 10, we'll roll the pocket to the left. Nice stiff arm to get rid of the defender, but he's going to take a nasty hit outside the pocket here and be dropped for a big loss. Coming in to make the tackle, Taylor Jordan, the linebacker. And we're going to go downstairs right now to Jada Teague, who is standing by with Mr. Powell and Mr. Powell. Well, we're having a little bit of difficulty with Jada's audio, so hopefully we'll have that figured out and be back downstairs with Shanderick and Dalen here in just a moment. Those 2 guys leading their team to a touchdown earlier in this quarter. We're tied at 14, just under 3 to play. And Foster will go back to throw on third down and long. Now going to take off and run, and he'll make it to the 35, and that's all. Team East shuts the door there on that third down run by Raymond Foster. Fourth down and time to punt now for Team West. A good answer there by Team East defensively to force the 3 and out. And now time to punt. It will be William Joyce out of Spartanburg High School in South Carolina. Jalen Castleberry is back deep to return the punt, the defensive back from St. Edward High School in Ohio. Perfect snap to Joyce. He gets away a high, booming, spiraling punt. Castleberry backpedals, calls, and makes a fair catch at the 15-yard line. Good punt by Joyce, no return, and it'll be first and 10 for Team East at their 15-yard line.
Talk about special teams, right? And most people will see that punt and go, oh, it's a great punt. But people don't realize the magnitude of being able to have a punter that can flip the field. He punted that from his 25-yard line, and now they have the ball in their 15-yard line. You know, you want to be able to back teams up and make them have to drive the length of the field, make them have to get a number of first down before they get to their touchdown. And having a punter on your team like that gives you an advantage, and it makes you feel more comfortable with kicking the ball on fourth down.
Making back the throw, and that's intercepted. Picked off by Amari Pate, the cornerback out of Culver City High School in California. He's a Fresno State commit, and right there just read the eyes of the quarterback. Ball came out a little wobbly, and Pate with the pick to set up Team West, trying to go in and take the lead.
The quarterback got fooled right there. They were in cover 2, and that cornerback had no responsibility. They had no back to the flat, had nobody in the flat. So all he did, he just kept drifting back, and the quarterback never saw him. He threw it right to him. Now, this is the guy I said earlier. I said covering is great, intercepting is great, but he came up and made a huge tackle early in the football game. So now you add those things together, and now you're starting to see what it looks like when a cornerback is fully complete.
Check 1, 2, Mike.
And a timeout is going to be called here prior to the beginning of the possession by Team West. They've got the ball with 1:43 to play in the first, trying to go in and take their lead for the first time. We'll be back to Arlington here in just a moment.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Clean food. Words you don't often hear. Words we at Panera live by. Because clean food is food as it should be, with no artificial flavors, preservatives, sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. We think clean food tastes better, feels better, does better. 100% of our food will be clean by year's end. Every bite will be food as it should be.
And on the first play of this drive, as we welcome you back to Arlington, a fumble by Dalen Powell, and it's recovered by Team East. Well, that's a big mistake by the West team. The East capitalizes and gets the recovery. If you take a look here, that snap just a little wide. It was actually right in between the Powell brothers, Dalen and Shenderick, and unfortunately, the big mistake costs Team West. Team East with the fumble recovery, and now they'll start with the football and get it right back.
The football gods giveth, and the football gods taketh away.
Man, that is huge because Team West has all the momentum, or at least had all the momentum in this football game, and now Team East with a chance to reclaim some of that. Pitch coming to the near side off the option play. And a pretty nice gain there on first down up to the 31-yard line by Javon Pruitt. Pruitt out of Victoria High School in Kansas. And it will be second down and 7 coming up here for Team East. And some movement up front, to say the least, against Team West. That will be, or at least should be, offsides here. And now your playbook's going to open up. It'll be second down and 2 as they'll move the ball up to the 35-yard line. There were 2 guys who came in and made contact in the neutral zone right there for Team West.
Just a little bit antsy on that one, you know. Just watch the football. When it moves, you move. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to the quarterback. Just watch that pigskin. I promise you. When it moves, everyone will move with it.
And a handoff. Once again now to Pruitt, and Pruitt is met rudely at the line of scrimmage and just deposited backwards. Nice play there. That was number 54, Aaron Ness out of Greeley High School in Colorado, who just came up and disposed of Pruitt. Nice tackle on that play, and it's short of a first down now, so third and less than a yard, and we have an injury timeout down on the field.
Just the unfortunate part of football. It's a physical game, and you want guys to go hard all the time. You want them to be aggressive all the time, and this is the sometimes the outcome of those games and when you have a guy get injured on the field.
And this is Javon Pruitt, the aforementioned running back on that previous play. And he's going to hop to his feet. Appears to be walking back to the sideline under his own power, so some good news there. And we'll take a look at him hopefully a little bit later on in this football game. 3rd down and 1 coming up. We've got just over 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Good game so far at AT&T Stadium. The East had the early lead 14-0. The West with 2 nice touchdown drives to answer. The teams have gone back and forth with turnovers over the last few minutes, and now Team East looking at a 3rd and 1 from its own 36-yard line. Macon, the big 225-pound quarterback, comes under center, trying to sneak for the first down, and this will depend on the spot. It is very close. The spot on the far side shows him to have it.
They gave it to him.
Yep. You know, that's a pretty good job by Team West right there. That's a big quarterback coming under center, and to clog up the middle as well as they did. Unfortunately for them, Macon only needed probably 6 inches or so, and he got all of it. Cadrell Watson out of Mesa Ridge High School in Colorado was the big nose tackle there, going one-on-one with the center and with Macon, and Macon got just enough for the first down. That's the end of the first quarter at AT&T Stadium. We're tied at 14. Back for the second quarter after this.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Panera's new warm grain bowls are full of good. Full of flavor, color, full of good. So you can be too. Try our new warm grain bowls today. Order now on DoorDash.
Back in Arlington, second quarter just about ready to start. Team East and Team West tied at 14. This is the 3rd of 4 class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls. The last game will be played here at AT&T Stadium, May the 24th. We hope you can join us for that. Coverage will be provided by the Impact Football Network as we conclude what has been so far a very good class of 2021 season. Macon is going to go deep. Right sideline, man is open, but it's just too far in front. Incomplete, off of the hands of the intended receiver. Grant Goodman had gotten a step on his defender, as you can see on the replay, but just not able to lay out and grab that pass from Macon.
Wow, I didn't know Macon had an arm like that. And when you watch him in the pocket, he had some pressure. He reestablished himself, got his feet set, and he let one fly. That was a beautiful pass. It was a hair off from his receiver, but that right there was a oof. I didn't know he had that in him. I didn't know. I guess 6'5", 225. You got to have something with you.
And they're going to hand it off. Coming behind the left tackle up to the 40 for a gain of 2 is Alec McEwen out of Hutchinson High School in Kansas. Had a few carries earlier in the first quarter. Gains 2 here to set up 3rd and 8.
Ryan, can you give the people at home just kind of a behind-the-scenes look at how this weekend goes down? When these athletes get here, the practice schedule, how things are happening?
I can. You know, it looks a little different now in the COVID-19 protocols that everybody is adhering to, but I would love to do that. It's such a fun weekend for both the players and the parents. Here's a quick throw to the near side. That pass incomplete. Will set up 4th down as Jared Smith unable to hold on. Now, the players get here 3 or 4 days before the game. They go through several different events leading up to the game, including a jersey presentation where the players get to walk down an aisle with all of their friends and family and the friends and family of the rest of their teammates. here in Arlington or wherever the game happens to be played on that particular weekend. That's always a cool moment. They get the photo opportunity with the blue-gray All-American Bowl backdrop. Get a chance to take a picture with their position coach, who, of course, is usually a former NFL veteran. Here comes the return, and a nice open field tackle made on special teams there by Team East. Putting an end to that quickly was number 7, Jordan Dean, at a Villa Angela St. Joseph High School in Ohio. And it will be Team West ball going left to right in the gray jerseys, tied at 14, here with 14:51 remaining in the second quarter. After that, they will attend a banquet where we're all fed a wonderful meal by the hotel staff at the hotel that we're staying at. And we'll hear from several of the former NFL coaches, get a chance to glean some wisdom from them, as usually their speeches are just chock full of wisdom and just old stories from their playing days and things that they heard from their coaches, things that they would find beneficial for the young men to hear. Of course, the 2 3-hour practices that we mentioned. Here's a handoff on first down, good run. This is Shanderick Powell racing to the outside and will finally be brought down around midfield. The tackle by Julian Noble, but a great run by Shanderick Powell, the running back number 7 out of Hoxie, Arkansas, headed to North Alabama, and a great run to get Team West going here on this drive.
Again, they find that edge. They find the edge, and they get to the outside. Team East has to do a much better job of locking down that outside, staying in your lanes, because Coach Wallace and Coach Teague, they found something with using their running backs and their skill position guys getting around that edge, and they've picked up some big yardage doing it.
There was a penalty on that play, but it was against Team East. That will be tacked on to the end of the run. A 15-yard penalty will move the ball all the way to the Team East 35-yard line. Huge play there. It all started with Shanderick Powell's run, and then the penalty adds on 15. Now Dalen Powell back to throw. Hit as he throws, going deep down the left side, and that is broken up and incomplete. Pretty nice throw by Dalen Powell as he felt a lot of pressure and was still able to get it out deep to his receiver. Just a bit short and incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he had his receiver. Had he not gotten pressure and the guy got his arm on him, he might have had a completion there. Just give him a second more and you might have yourself a touchdown.
So Team West, who trailed at one point in this game 14-0, has come back to tie it, now trying to take the lead for the first time here early in the second quarter. They've got 2nd and 10 at the 35, handoff, and lowering the shoulder at around the 35-yard line is the ball carrier, number 1, Garrison Didell out of Benton High School in Missouri, 5'11", 170 pounds, and Didell delivered a blow there to gain about a yard. 3rd down and 9 coming up. If you take a look at Team West, we've got several big men up front right now on the offensive line, including Ruben Almendarez out of Harlingen High School down in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. 3rd and 9. Powell in the gun. His brother Shanderick to his left. Pressure, set up the screen. Shanderick with the catch. Sheds a tackler, 1st down. Knocked out of bounds just shy of the 20. Boy, that is such a safety valve. And more than that, certainly. But on that 3rd down right there, just to be able to dump the ball off to a running back like Shanderick Powell and watch him work and get the 1st down.
The thing about screenplays, what makes a screenplay work, yes, I need the blocking out front, but it's all about the timing. If the linemen give up too early that, hey, it's a screenplay, then you have defenders being able to retreat and to get back in the way. It's all about having that mental clock in your head. 1001, 1002, release, get into the flat, find somebody to block, and they ran that play right there to perfection.
1st down at the Team East 22. Dalen Powell will now run quarterback keep, and he's going to be dragged down in the backfield. Good play made by Team East. Percy Edwards with the sack. Tackle for loss back to the 25-yard line. A really nice play by him. Jalen Castleberry, the defensive back from St. Edward High School in Ohio, with a lot of schools out of the MAC interested in him, came in to help Edwards finish him off. Loss of 3. So the Team East defense trying to bend but not break here. Dalen Powell will come with a running back off to his left. That's Garrison Dydell. They've got single coverage to the near side with Carter Stokes. Powell will roll to his left and on a comeback pattern find an open receiver for a catch down at about the 18-yard line. Pass is caught by Stephon Coleman, another teammate from Hoxie High School in Arkansas. They've got 3 players from there, including the 2 Powell brothers. Third down coming up here for Team West.
Team West with this group, with Powell at quarterback and Powell at running back, this group has found rhythm. I know that you have to kind of interchange each group every series, but when this group of players are on the field, especially this skill group with Powell at the quarterback position, they found a really good rhythm, and they've been able to march the ball down the field and close to win another touchdown.
Handoff Shanderick Powell, and Powell will lower the shoulder and have a first down on 3rd and 4. Shanderick Powell with another third down conversion. This time on a handoff, it'll be 1st and goal for Team West now, and that Hoxie Mustang connection between the 2 Powell brothers and Stephon Coleman, the receiver in there right now at 6'3", 185, doing wonders for Team West. This group has already produced 1 touchdown here today. That was a Dalen Powell touchdown run. Now they've got 1st and goal at the 10. Trying to take the lead for the first time today. Powell going deep, back corner of the end zone. That's to his brother Shanderick, and it's broken up and incomplete. Jalen Castleberry got back to make the play on Shanderick Powell, who initially was open. Castleberry with the closing speed to break that pass up. That was actually Coleman, I beg your pardon, Stephon Coleman, the intended receiver.
Coleman missed his opportunity to get on You Got Mossed. Like, that was a You Got Mossed moment right there. And as a big receiver, 6'3", you got to make that play. That play, it's almost designed for big receivers. Hey, QB, just throw it up and let me out-jump this little DB. But you got to come down with the play when the quarterback calls your number.
Garrison Dydell with another carry will take it down to the 5. It'll be 3rd and goal coming up now for Team West. As we come upon 12 minutes now to play in this second quarter. Good game so far at AT&T Stadium. We're tied at 14. Both teams have struggled just a bit with turnovers. There's been 1 defensive touchdown in the game scored by Matthew C. on a 25-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And now 3rd and goal. Here's a 4-point play for Team West. Powell hands off on a delayed draw to Dydell, and he'll be brought down at around the 3. Tackled by Vaden Beck out of Wilcox Academy in Alabama. 4th down and goal now at the 4. And it looks like Team West will leave the offense out there initially.
I like the aggressiveness.
They're going to go for it.
I like it. Most people say the analytics says I'm not smart enough to be those people, but the analytics say right here you should go for it on 4th down.
I'm not smart enough to be those people either, but I'm smart enough to listen to them. 4th and goal at the 4. Powell will throw, flings it to the end zone, and a jump ball for Stephon Coleman. And again, tight, perfect coverage from Jalen Castleberry to be right there and break it up. Team East gets the job done defensively.
That's when you would hope that the quarterback, and you see it all the time from quarterbacks like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, throw what we call a back shoulder fade. And the only thing about a back shoulder fade is sometimes when you're trying to run the fade route, the DB just is on top of the route. so you can't get over top of him for that fade-like route. You throw it back shoulder where you're able to position yourself, box him out, and catch it kind of right in that front pylon area. You'd have loved to see them take an opportunity at a back shoulder fade on that play right there.
Here's another reason I like going for it on 4th and goal inside the 5, because now, even though you didn't get it, the opposing offense will struggle to get out of their own end zone. Jalen Macon barely does and walks out of bounds up at about the 5, but he had a hand on him in the end zone, just not able to make the play for Team West. It'll be 2nd down coming up. 2nd and about 9.
And you're trying to give yourself a little wiggle room, a little breathing room right here so that, you can call some other plays. You don't want your quarterback standing and your running back standing in the end zone trying to convert plays. So look for a play that, try to get them a little bit of breathing room so that they can call a 3rd down play that they're not standing in the end zone.
Theron Davis and Jameer Ackerson are the running backs, and the ball is fumbled. It's recovered by Team East. But this has been an auspicious start to the drive, to say the least, for the East team and Coach Ken Stills, offensive coordinator Rodney Beasley. 3rd and 10 coming up, and they just barely avoided disaster on the first 2 plays of the drive.
Snap was a little bit low. You like to see your 6'5" receiver reach down there, keep his eye on the football. I thought his eye got away from the football on that last play, even though it was a low. Just really focusing on catching it and then allowing the play to develop. Sometimes you get a little bit, you move too fast, your clock is going off, and they like you said, they almost had some devastating things happen.
Macon will hand off. That ball came out again. And it looks like Team West has recovered the football. Wow. 2 fumbles in a row. This one now recovered by Team West. Garrett Berger with the fumble recovery out of California High School in Missouri. And just like that, Team West will get another chance at this. 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line.
I go back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game. With the amount of practice time or lack thereof, you have these kind of things happen. And that's when you have that RPO, it's I want to put the ball in the running back's gut and ride it a little bit, but the running back has to be sure that, am I taking it? Are you snatching it? And sometimes that can get a little bit confusing when you don't have the long amount of time to practice these things. And so we saw a fumble from the snap, quarterback center exchange, and then we saw a fumble between the running back and the quarterback on an RPO exchange. A lot of these things are just fault of not enough practice time together.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And I'm not sure that we necessarily need to put this into context for the type of viewer that we have watching a game like this, but just to put it into context anyways, most football teams at the high school level are practicing 2 weeks prior to the season before they even play in a preseason or scrimmage type of a game that doesn't count. Then they play 3 or 4 what are called non-district or non-conference games that, while they matter, don't count. It's not really usually until late September, early October that games are being played that are meaningful in terms of going to the postseason and playing for state championships. These guys are out here doing this in 6 hours worth of practice time. It's incredible that they know anything. And now the handoff and a touchdown on the first play. Taking it in is DeAndre Exford from Colleen Shoemaker in Texas. And the Team West is out in front for the first time in the game. So Team West cashes in the turnover on the first play. And they lead now for the first time. The extra point here from Colby Sessom, the place kicker from Eaton High School in Texas. And it is good to put the West in front, 21-14, 9.5 to play here in the first half from AT&T Stadium.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play. Anything you'd like to eat and an Old Town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Well, how about the turnaround in this football game? The West down 14-0 very early in this one, have rallied with 21 unanswered now to take a 21-14 lead. The latest touchdown provided by DeAndre Exford, coming right after the turnover by Team East inside their own 5-yard line. And you know, you and I were talking about analytics earlier. That's part of the equation right there, Jesse, of the fact that the team who then would take over on downs if you don't get it, they're so far backed up that it's a chance for your defense to come and make a big play, and that's exactly what Team West was able to do as Castleberry returns it to the 17-yard line.
Absolutely. You know, because when you're backed up like that, you have no room for error because every little thing is so condensed, it's so tight. And they have the early fumble with the center quarterback exchange, and then they tried to come to the RPO, and that didn't work out either. And so you've put yourself in a very, very uncomfortable situation. Now it's time to see if Team East can respond. You're not backed up so much where you can't do different things. They had some success early on getting the ball on those RPO. Let's see if they go back to that. Look at the bottom. The screen is man-to-man across the board. You got some room down here. So maybe they take a shot right here and try to get some of this yardage back.
And they'll hand off on first down. It's a good carry.
Ball is out.
And the ball came out again, and it was recovered by Team West. Will they rule the running back down by contact is the question. I thought live that he was certainly down. The officials are talking it over right now. As we take a look at it. And
that ball was out.
Yeah, you're right. Recovered by Team West. The third turnover now by the East team. Wow, what a turnaround in this football game. And you have to give a lot of credit to the West defense. They are coming after the football. These are not your run-of-the-mill, let's just lightly get them to the ground tackles. They are coming after it and trying to strip that thing loose at every opportunity, and they've been pretty successful at that so far.
Now that last fumble had nothing to do with lack of practice.
No.
That had everything to do with physicality, putting your helmet right on the football. And if you watch it again, you saw the running back. When he initially got the handoff, he kind of bobbled it before he can get it secured, and the defense is flying around to the football. We hear the term all the time, 11 guys to the football violently. This is why you want 11 guys to the football.
And Cameron McCoy is going to go to the end zone on the first play, and he hooks up with A.J. Gonzalk for a touchdown. 26-yard strike from Cameron McCoy to A.J. Gonzalk. And just like that on the first play, Team West cashes in the turnover with a long touchdown.
Team West if this field goal goes through, this is 28 unanswered points. They found, and it goes through. This is 28 unanswered points from Team West. Remember, Team East jumped out. They went down the field, scored a touchdown. Then they had the strip sack touchdown from the quarterback, and they went up 14-0. And all Team West has done is respond. 28 unanswered points from Team West. Coach Teague and his staff, they have been on it offensively, defensively, and special teams. They have been dominating at least most of this second quarter, but we're moving to the point where they've been dominating this whole first half.
Jesse, we've had the last 4 plays collectively between the two teams have been 2 fumbles and 2 touchdowns. Both fumbles by Team East, and both touchdowns by Team West. 1-play drives. A 4-yard touchdown run by DeAndre Exford, and now a 26-yard touchdown catch by A.J. Gonzalk on a beautifully thrown pass from Cameron McCoy, the Missouri State commit from St. Mary's High School there in Missouri. And as Jesse just painted for you, 28 unanswered by Team West has completely turned around this football game. Now Jalen Castleberry coming out from the goal line. Forget it. He didn't make it to the 15-yard line. Everything going Team West's way right now. Gunnar Truby made the tackle on special teams. And Team East will start backed up again at their own 15-yard line.
Team West is flat out playing a more physical football game. You saw they come down on kickoff for special teams, stop them at the 15-yard line. You see how they're playing on the defense side of the ball. They're coming after the football. They're coming with bad intentions, and that football is coming out.
And you start to wonder now about Jalen Macon, who has played quarterback every snap for Team East. We still have a lot of time left in this football game. And he's back to throw on first down. Pressure hit, trying to get out of it. Does throw it out there, incomplete. No intentional grounding. So 2nd and 10, and Macon perhaps a bit fortunate there that no penalty flag came out. Or did they call him down? Yeah, they might have called him down, it looks like. So the pass did not count. It's going to be 2nd down and 17 now after the loss, back to the 8-yard line, and now you have to start worrying about that end zone that's directly behind you. Macon takes the snap, wants to quickly throw to the left side, incomplete, and coming up to make the play was Amari Pate, the Fresno State commit, who earlier had an interception, this time a pass breakup to set up 3rd down and 17.
Coach Myers for Team West, the defensive line coach, he is penetrating that offensive line of Team East and really making it uncomfortable for Macon. He can't find lanes to throw the ball into. He can't find a pocket to step up into. I mean, they're really creating some disruption for Team East.
That's a nice job by Macon there to step up into the pocket, find an open receiver at about the 16-yard line, but it's going to be well short of a first down. The pass was caught by Connor Wilson. And it's going to be 4th down. Time to punt now for Team East. And I think you're absolutely right, Jesse. The physicality of Team West has taken its toll on the East team. As this game wears on, you start to see it make more of an impact. And now the punt by Team East. It will be Gabriel Nwosu to launch one deep. We'll be going downstairs to Jada Teague after this punt. It's a good one from Nwosu, and coming over to return it is Team West, and it's a good return by Jalen Davis out of Katy, Texas. He gets into East territory. Let's go downstairs now to Jada.
All right, I'm back here with the Powell brothers. Tell me how it feels to be here playing with each other at the AT&T Stadium.
It's just a blessing, man. I just appreciate everything that they have done down here. It's a great program, and I think it's just a blessing playing with my brother. I'm going to college to play with him, so it's just a blessing.
Yeah, just gotta thank God, thank all the coaches and the whole organization. It just feel great to be able to come down here and play with my brother again.
All right, now we heard that you guys are both committed to North Alabama. Your head coach, George Teague, has family and played at the University of Alabama. What are some things that you guys have learned from this coaching staff today?
Man, just great, man. They give us good tips, man. And I just appreciate them just to get me better. I really appreciate them, doing little things, keep it fundamental. That's all we got to do.
I just feel good. I thank all the coaches. They're teaching me great life lessons and great tips on how to be a better quarterback.
Thank you guys so much. We'll take it back up to you.
All right, Jada with Dalen and Shanderick Powell. Both of those players have made a huge impact for Team West offensively here today. Dalen Powell with a touchdown run. Shanderick has several runs of over 20 yards so far. And Team West enjoying a 28-14 lead. Raymond Foster back in at quarterback, dumps off a screen to the right, and this is caught for a first down into Team East territory. Pass is caught by Donovan Zuniga out of Stony Point High School in Texas. Gets to the Team East 33-yard line to move the chains.
I'm a little jealous, thing about how, Dalen's, his voice is so deep. I've always wanted a deep voice. I've always wanted a deep voice.
Yeah, you missed out on that, partner. Sorry to say.
The Lord blessed me with some other talents, but I've always been like, man, if I could have a deep voice, life's so hard, man.
Could be worse, I guess. Here's the handoff. Zuniga with the carry. Got to the 30-yard line. And it will be 2nd down and 7 coming up. Just about 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter. And you just see the look on some of the Team East players right now. They look shell-shocked that this thing has turned around the way it has. And so right now, Jesse, you're looking for somebody down there in a blue jersey to make a play. To say, you know what, that's the end of this. We're going to get back in this football game. I don't care that we're not playing well right now, but we're going to turn this thing around.
And that's all it takes. I mean, you're still not out of this football game. 1 touchdown, and you're right back in this thing. So, a play doesn't care who makes it.
Foster will go deep to the end zone, and there's the play right there. Picked off in the end zone. Intercepted by Jordan Polk. There is a penalty flag down, but it's in the offensive backfield. It's holding against Team West. And right on cue, Jesse Holley, here comes the play made by Jordan Polk.
Like I said, a play doesn't care who makes it. A play just wants to be made. And Team East, who desperately needed a play to be made, Team West throws kind of a little alley-oop up into the end zone. They make the play, get the ball back with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So you need for your offense to come out here and at least, if you don't score, at least give your defense a chance to rest. Have a long drive. Have an 8, 9, 10, 11-play drive that eats up a large majority of this clock so that you can give your defense a rest, and hopefully you can get down the field in field goal range to score a touchdown before the half.
Well, that's a really nice physical play made on the running back. Barika Kapinu had the handoff. Just nowhere to run against Team West. Loss of half of a yard brings up 2nd down. And that's been the story. You brought up Michael Myers earlier, the defensive line coach, NFL veteran right here with the Cowboys for Team West, and his group doing a fantastic job here today. Aaron Ness, Aaron Hernandez out there right now on the right side of that defensive line. Option to the right pitch. Kapinu looking for a seam, and he can't find one. He's tackled once again in the backfield, going to lose another half of a yard. Right in there to make the play was Malachi Koch out of Fife High School up in the state of Washington, along with the aforementioned Aaron Ness. 3rd down and 11 coming up.
Team East is going in the wrong direction. You need to go the opposite way. Not back towards your end zone, towards the other end zone. They got the play they needed on defense. Now you need your offense to come up with a huge 3rd down. Look for screen plays in these type of situations.
Macon going to go back to throw. Will go very deep down the left side. Pass is caught.
Got him.
Running away for a touchdown is Jared Smith, his 2nd of the day, 81 yards. That was a bomb from Jalen Macon. And Smith able to run underneath it, bobbled it initially, and then able to squeeze it. And once he made the catch, Jesse, there was no doubt they would not catch him.
Yeah, Macon told me, shut up, Jesse. We're not throwing the screen play. I just needed a little bit more yards so I can throw this 81-yard bomb. And just like that, we got a football game here. West scored 28 unanswered points. And they were still, only up by 14. And like you said earlier, Ryan, a play needed to be made. They got the interception, and then they got the 81-yard bomb right here. And now we're right back in it. This is still a football game, 21-28 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this game. We got a good ball game here.
It has been good so far. The East now trying to make its way back. They're within a score, 3:44 to play in the half.
Good ideas catch on fast. Good clean food, even faster. Now delivering for lunch and dinner. Panera, food as it should be.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Well, in back-to-back weeks now, we've had a good, tightly contested game between the East and the West here in the class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. This game started off 14-0 East, 28 unanswered scored by the West, and then it was Jalen Macon to Jared Smith, 81 yards later. The East back to within a score now. And we talked earlier, Jesse, that somebody was going to have to make a play for Team East, and it turns out that it was two somebodies. Jordan Polk with the interception to end the last drive for Team West, and then Team East cashes it in with a deep bomb to Smith, his second touchdown of the game.
That's a great play, man, because normally on third down and plus, 10 plus, your DBs are usually playing more off coverage, keeping everything in front of them. So for you to be able to get a defender behind the DB for a big play like that is huge.
Look out, Shanderick Powell on the return. He's got the speed, inside move. He's at the 50, stays on his feet down the sideline. 104 yards.
Wow.
Shanderick Powell,
wow.
Kickoff return touchdown.
This kid's special. This kid is special.
We've done a lot of these games together, Jesse. I'm not sure I've seen anybody faster than Shanderick Powell.
This kid is flat out a football player. You give the ball in any situation, his vision, his balance, his speed.
Just like that, Team West an extra point away from going back up 2 touchdowns.
If you're a fan of the Northern Alabama Lions, get excited.
Get ready.
Get ready. You got something special in this young kid right here. He has speed, he has athleticism. We've seen him catch the ball out of the backfield. We've seen his vision as a runner, and now we've seen him return it 100. And this is not high school 104. This is big time, big long Cowboys 104-yard return. Wow, that was a great play.
Let's take another look at it. As you see, Powell just outrunning everybody. Somebody got a hand on him right there at about the 45-yard line, but it was not nearly enough to bring him down. Give some credit also to the blocking in front. That certainly helped out the cause, and then Shanderick Powell doing the rest. 104 yards later, puts his team back up 2 touchdowns.
What a blow to the gut for Team East. You get the turnover, you get an 81-yard bomb, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, guys, we're right back in this game. Let's go. Let's get a stop on defense. Oh, we kicked it off to Shanderick Powell. 104 yards later, you're back down 2 touchdowns. That's a blow to the gut, but what a great play by Powell.
Here's Colby Sessom with the ensuing kickoff, and he just does the smart thing and makes it unreturnable. Out the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line coming here for Team East. And boy, what a special player Shanderick Powell will be at North Alabama, going there with his brother Dalen. Those two are going to be a problem for all of the opponents of Northern Alabama over the next several years.
Absolutely. I mean, a part of me kind of wants to see him now return a punt and maybe play a little defense. I want to see what can't this kid do.
And here's a handoff on 1st down. Good play for Team
Ball
East.
is out.
Omar Pickett. And it was a fumble, but out of bounds. And so Team East will keep the ball this time, but that has been just about like the plague. They just haven't been able to escape it in this first quarter. They've lost 2. They've had 2 or 3 more that they've been fortunate enough to recover. And this is going to be 2nd down and about 2. Gain of 8 after all is said and done there. North Alabama, if you're wondering, plays in Division I, the football championship subdivision in the Big South Conference. They won back-to-back-to-back national championships in Division II back in 93, 94, and 95. So it's been a while since they've won the big one, but boy, look out. Florence, Alabama is getting two really good football players. Third down coming up after nothing materializes on that play for Team East.
I'm still in awe of that power return. That was a sweet return. That was pretty special.
Now Jalen Macon trying to make the fans forget about it. 3rd and 2. Back to throw, pressure comes, he escapes out of that and had a man open for a first down, but bounced it into the intended receiver, Omar Pickett. It'll be 4th down. So Team East will have to punt, and it will be Jack Pospisil, who had a long touchdown catch earlier in the game, along with DeAndre Exford, who also had a touchdown run. That's one thing for Team West is they have spread around their scores. Pospisil has one. DeAndre Exford has one. A.J. Gonzalk has one. Here's the punt, and it's a good one by Nwosu. Fair catch is muffed now. Battle for it, and it'll be recovered by Team West. Pospisil was able to get back on it and retain the possession for the West team and head coach George Teague.
That was a skyrocket right there.
You know, you talked earlier about the importance of having a guy like that, like a Gabriel Nwosu, who can flip the field as the punter. We saw the impact of that last week when it was Team East who pinned Team West deep a couple of times. One of them led to a safety. And those are the hidden yards that you talked about, Jesse, that they don't show up in the stat sheet necessarily, but it's those little things that add up to you being a good football team or being a not very good football team. And now Dalen Powell will run a misdirection handoff here to Garrison Didell, and Didell carries it to the 19 for a gain of a couple.
And what fans at home might not know about, when you're returning punts, and you see that ball kind of go up in the air and come down nose down, the ball is always, when it comes nose down, it's always going to sail to the right. It's always going to sail to the right. When you see the ball coming like a field goal or like a kickoff, kind of end over end, it's always going to be center or to your left. So when you saw that last play, you saw the returner kind of go back, and then the ball at the last second kind of like it kind of sailed to the right. When that ball comes down like that, nose down in a spiral, it's going to sail to your right. That's why you got to catch it in that type of manner. But when it goes end over end, it's kind of either going to be center or a little bit to your left.
Now, Jesse, refresh my memory here, but when you were with the Cowboys, was it Des Bryant returning punts primarily, or who was back there doing that?
There were a couple guys. Early in my career, I had guys like Patrick Creighton, Alan Rossum. At one point in time, did it. Des Bryant did it his rookie year, and then he actually broke his ankle against the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis, and then they kind of went away from him a little bit, and he kind of had him on special occasions. Trying to think who else was back there, but Des returned some guys like Patrick Creighton, Dwayne Harris, returned punts.
That's. You talk about the punter, but the punt returner is also such an important part of your football team, and that's got to be an honor to be able to do something like that. As Didell gets the pitch here across the 20 to the 21-yard line, we're coming upon a minute to play in this second quarter. But, you get the right guy back there. You think about this year in Alabama having Devontae Smith back there returning punts. Just a guy who every time he touches the ball has a chance to put it in the end zone. Such a threat for your football team. And
when I was coming up in college, and then even when I got to the league, we had a guy by the name of Devin Hester playing at North Carolina in the ACC. Devin Hester gave you nightmares. And then playing him in the National Football League, this was the guy coach tell you, hey, listen, we have nothing to prove. Kick it out of bounds.
Not worth it.
Don't kick it to Devin Hester.
There's a nice route run by Stephon Coleman. He catches it for a first down for Team West. Dalen Powell, his high school quarterback, in there right now as those two work some magic and get a first down to the 29-yard line. 25 seconds remaining. Team West does have 2 timeouts, but they have a lot of field in front of them, and we remind you of the difficulty of running a hurry-up style offense in a game such as this. Yeah, Devin Hester, if there's a guy who could make the Hall of Fame as a punt returner, it would be him.
Yeah. He owned just about every record there is to own as a special teamer, as a returner in the National Football League.
Powell back to throw, looking deep, going to go across the middle, and that's a dangerous pass, incomplete. Looking for Tristan Everard out of Blue Valley High School, Blue Valley Southwest High School in Kansas. 2nd and 10 with 17 seconds. (35-21). The West with a 2-touchdown lead here over the East as we near halftime. We'll have both coaches on at the half, get their thoughts on what they saw through the first 32 minutes of action here at AT&T Stadium. Powell fakes the handoff, wants to keep it himself, and will around the left corner and gets outside the numbers for a first down. Out of bounds to stop the clock with 8 seconds. As you take a look at the athleticism and the running ability of Dalen Powell. Just able to outrun the linebackers to the outside, and of course that play fake helps out a bunch as timeout will be called here by Team West. They'll talk things over here with 8 seconds remaining. Ball at the 45-yard line. And what's the strategy here, Jesse? You've got 1 timeout left.
Find a Powell. Find a Powell. That's the strategy. Find a Powell. Whether that's Sunderic or whether that's Dylon, find a Powell. That right there hasn't failed you in this game yet. Find a Powell and give him the ball. That hasn't failed you.
You make it sound so simple.
I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box. I'm not the sharpest pencil in the drawer. But I got good eyes. And when the last name Powell has had the ball in his football game, good things have happened. So whether that's Powell throwing the ball, Powell running the ball, Powell catching the ball, or Powell handling the ball as a running back, I like my chances with the last name Powell and the ball in his or one of their hands.
We'll see what the West team, George Teague, Seneca Wallace, your good friend, the offensive coordinator for Team West, draws up here. Powell is going to be sort of that flex tight end on the right. Stephon Coleman is wide to the right. Dalen Powell's the quarterback, going back to throw, rolls to his right, and is going to stay in bounds. And the clock has expired as he goes out of bounds on the east side of the 50, but that's going to end up not mattering as the half is over. And we will go to halftime here at AT&T Stadium with the West leading 35-21, a high-scoring first half here in this third class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls at AT&T Stadium. It's the West with a 35-21 lead. We'll be back in just a moment. Hear from our head coaches here in Arlington. Our coverage of the class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl will continue in a moment.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Good ideas catch on fast. Good clean food, even faster. Now delivering for lunch and dinner. Panera, food as it should be.
All right, I'm here with the head coach of the East Side. Right now your team is down 35-21. Tell us what you're going to say to these guys when you head into the locker room.
Oh, I probably can't say that on television, what I'm going to say, but no, we can't turn the football over. We got 3 or 4 fumbles in the red zone. Got a guy wide open and can't complete the ball, so I'm going to go in there and tell them, take care of your business, do your job. 11 guys doing their job the way they're supposed to do it, blocking, tackling, and get your job done. And if we can do those things, we'll have a chance.
Now, Coach, you've been here and coached a handful of times. Tell me, what is your favorite part about being here, coaching at the AT&T Stadium?
Well, I love this atmosphere, and the owner of the company, Gus Bell, his thought was that there's going to be some kid, this is going to be his last game ever. So why not be able to have that photo standing on the star in AT&T Stadium on your desk where you're the CEO of some major company or president of some company. And I love that idea, and I tell the kids all the time, not everybody's going to make it to where they want to go. So enjoy this moment. Enjoy being in the stadium. I love to see the kids having fun. I'm competitive. I want to win, but it's all about the kids enjoying themselves and just enjoying this. I mean, it's very rare that kids get to come into AT&T Stadium and play here. I've coached in it a million times. I've been here. I've been here a ton of times, but for the kids, it's a lifetime opportunity, and I enjoy that.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll go ahead and take it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jada. Thanks, Ken Stills, head coach of the East team here today. His team trailing 35-21 at the half. We'll take a break here, come back with some analysis from the first half of play, have an interview of interest down on the sideline with Jada a little bit later on before we hear from George Teague, the head coach of the West, and then have the second half kickoff here from Arlington, Texas. We're at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium, and we're back for more after this.
Because of this, we made Ford Super Duty the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Because of this, we built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and best-in-class payload.
Rescue 614 en route.
Because of this, we built Ford Ranger with the terrain management system. And because Ford trucks are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Clean food. Words you don't often hear. Words we at Panera live by. Because clean food is food as it should be, with no artificial flavors, preservative sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. We think clean food tastes better, feels better, does better. 100% of our food will be clean by year's end. Every bite will be food as it should be.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever, with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Teams are back in the locker room right now. 35-21 is the lead for Team West. And just to give you a quick recap of that first half, the East led early 14-0. They got a touchdown to Jared Smith to get the scoring going early on, and then Matthew C. got a strip sack fumble and return for a touchdown. Just like that, the East was out in front 14-0, and then Jesse, it was 28 unanswered points by Team West to completely turn around the football game. And at one point, it really did not seem like there was anything that was going wrong for Team West. Their defense was forcing turnovers. They were getting quick scores off of those turnovers. and really took control of that football game about midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, they found their rhythm. They found some success with the RPOs, getting their running backs and quarterbacks on the edges of Team East defense, and they capitalized on them. And the most important thing is their defense turned it up. We saw the little skirmish happen about midfield with some players, and it seemed like after that skirmish and that delay in the football game, it felt like Team West kicked it into another gear. They got a little bit more physical, got a little bit more aggressive defensively, and it helped because they created turnovers, they picked up fumbles, got interceptions, and what that did was it gave their offense short field, and their offense capitalized. They got the turnovers and they capitalized on them, and they've been out in front of this game for a large majority of this football game, and you know, you hope they can keep it up in the second half.
Those 2 touchdowns off of the turnovers came from DeAndre Exford and then A.J. Gonzalk from the Southern Conference as we take a look at some of those first half highlights. And as we mentioned, it was Team East dominating things early. As you see, Jalen Macon going into the end zone to Jared Smith right there for the touchdown.
Yeah, good play right there. Sprint right off and got out there on the edge and made a play.
And then here was Matthew C. with that strip. He basically just ripped it right away from Raymond Foster and then had the speed and the strength to go rest of the way for the touchdown. And that put up East 14-0 at that point.
Big boys in an open field. Always special.
And then it was the Powell brothers who got in on the act. Here Dalen dumping off the pass to his brother Shanderick, and Shanderick showing the speed to get down the sideline.
The thing about Shanderick is, man, he's shown so much. His vision, his balance, his power, his speed. I mean, he's done a tremendous job in this football game.
And then Dalen Powell, the quarterback, finishing things off. That put the West on the board, and the extra point made it 14-7 as they really capped off a really nice drive. And then Cameron McCoy, the third quarterback to enter the fray for Team West, he got in on the action as well. You see him running with the football right there, and then he showed he could pass it from the pocket.
Yeah, seam route down the middle of the field. Safety got a little bit too wide, and they went right down the center of the field for a touchdown.
That made it 14 all, and then it was the defense for Team West who really started to take over. Right here you see Raymond Foster with a nice stiff arm, and then the hit on the back end there by Team East. As we take a look at several other assorted plays from that first half, that was the interception that you just saw right there from Amari Pate, the Fresno State commit. As you see, both teams, Jesse, sort of struggling with turnovers there early in the second quarter. And I guess we're going to cut into our highlight package right now. We'll go downstairs as Jada Teague has an interview of interest down on the field.
All right, I'm here with Touchdown Dave from High School Sports Magazine in South Texas. Tell us about some of that South Texas history.
Well, you know, a lot of South Texas history, a lot of people don't know that there's a player by the name of Norm Evans from Donna High School. He actually played 3 Super Bowls with the Miami Dolphins, and including that 17-0 season with Bob Greasy and Don Shula. I mean, and we also have another player currently in the NFL from, who else? The New York Jets, and his name is Sergio Castillo, and he's a punter, kicker, but it came with a lot of persistence.
Wow, we love that. So tell us about the weekend leading up to the Brugge game.
Oh, you know, when you start getting these young men right here and you start giving them invitations, say, you're in, well, then it's a lot of contact with parents and a lot of players, and then you got players like, of course, Luis DeVaries and Brandon, and of course this gentleman right here, Mr. Rodriguez, and Hayden Man, and of course Mr. Almodades. And then of course, you know, you're looking at great opportunities for these kids to get one last look.
And what do you think the guys' biggest takeaway is from playing at the AT&T Stadium?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that just in awe. They're just here waiting to get in here, and they were excited to get in here, and I know that this was their moment.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Anything else you want to say?
Well, I think they have one to say. What do you say, guys?
Blue Gray, aren't you be proud?
There we go.
Thank you guys so much. We'll take it back up to you.
Awesome, Jada. Great story there. As we take a look at some more of our highlights from the first half, Shanderick Powell shedding a couple of tackles here. And again, Jesse, those 20-yard plus runs, he can hit the home run ball from the running back position.
He most definitely can, but we talk about those 20 yards runs. That happens with receivers blocking the ball down, blocking, you know, their defenders downfield, and just letting Powell do what he does best.
This was a good drive right here by Team West. They were persistent, had a couple of negative plays, but were able to keep things positive. Then finally going for it on a 4th down. That pass went incomplete, intended for Stephon Coleman. A couple of nice plays by Jalen Castleberry in coverage. And then Team East just continuing to be bitten by the turnover bug. They turn the ball over inside their own 5 on the very next play. It's DeAndre Exford who goes in for the touchdown. That made it 21-14 at that point. Another fumble gave it right back to Team West, and this a beautiful throw by Cameron McCoy.
Oh, he laid that out there perfectly right in the breadbasket for a fade. Touchdown Team West. Put them up big in this football game.
Raymond Foster here with the screen pass. Nicely run after the catch by Donovan Zuniga. And you really saw Team West execute nicely on plays like that in that first half. And again, all that starts with the blocking down the field and the timing, as you mentioned, Jesse.
Yeah, and you need a little bit of time. When you have those plays happening for you down the field, you need a little bit of time, to step into a throw and make a play. We saw on that one, he had a little bit of time, but he just lofted up to the wrong guy on interception on defense.
Now, we thought this might have been a little bit of a turning point in the football game. They got the interception from Jordan Polk. Then this 81-yard touchdown throw from Jaden Macon all the way down the field to Jared Smith for 81 yards. That got Team East back to within 7, and then they kicked it off to this guy, Shanderick Powell.
Yeah, you get to the sideline and you say, we had a big play. Let's get some Gatorade. Let's regroup. Oh, wait, they scored again. Shanderick Powell, my early offensive MVP for this blue-gray game right here. This kid can do it all, man. Like I said before, he has speed, he has power, he has vision, he has elusiveness, he can catch out of the backfield, he can return kickoffs 104 yards. This kid is special, and Northern Alabama has got them a jewel in Shanderick Powell.
35-21, a 14-point lead at the half for Team West. We'll come back in just a moment and hear from George Teague, the head coach of Team West. Our coverage of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl continues in a moment.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
I'm here with the head coach of the West Side. Right now, you guys are up 35-21. What is it going to take for you guys to stay in the lead?
Well, what we talked about is being able to continue to keep the pressure on and continue to win the turnover battle. That has been the difference in the first half, is we were able to get the ball back into our offensive hands and make that swing with the score. So as long as we continue to play good defense, continue to move the ball on offense, hopefully we'll be okay.
Coach Teague, tell us about the weekend leading up to the game and how practice was and everything.
It was a little difficult this time, too. We had to battle some weather elements with the rain that came through the other day, but guys get distracted also when the NFL playoffs are, or maybe I should say coaches get it. Coaches get a little bit distracted when the playoffs are in, but it was really good. Our guys were attentive, and you can see they're playing very well.
We're excited to see the rest of the half. Back up to you guys.
All right, Jada, thanks very much. Team East has already come out of the locker room. You see Team West right there now coming out of the tunnel here at AT&T Stadium as we're just moments away from the kickoff of the second half with Team West leading Team East 35-21. Coach Teague talking about the importance of the turnover battle, and his team dominated that statistic in the first half of play, and that's one of the big reasons they're up by 14 right now. Here at halftime, it will be Team West to receive the opening kickoff in the second half. And, one thing, Jesse, that I'm not sure that we've talked enough about, but just the job that the quarterback for Team East, Jalen Macon, has done. I know his team is down by 14 right now at the half, but to be the only guy really available to play quarterback for his team, he's already played a 32-minute game. In high school, you're really only accustomed to playing 48-minute long games, 12-minute quarters. still a lot of time left in this football game, and we're going to really see what his conditioning is made of here today, certainly.
No, absolutely you are. But the competitor in me says,
give me all the reps.
I don't think he has a problem with it. Give me all the reps. Let me make all the plays. And most of the time for quarterbacks, you get in a rhythm with the more reps you get. So being able to see the defense a second time, to be able to see players a second time, you kind of get in a much better rhythm, and that way you're able to go out there and make the plays because you're saying, oh, I remember the last third down that we had, they were in this one, and I missed the throw, or I connected on the throw, I'm going to go back to that one. So getting all the reps and not having to come in and off the field and kind of just get that continuity, your receivers kind of get used to you, your linemen get used to you. And so for him, being the only healthy quarterback here playing today, I just know he's not saying, Coach, take me out, I'm tired. He's saying, Coach, let me play even more. Give me the ball some more. Let me make some more plays. So the competitor in you loves the opportunity like this.
Yeah, certainly an advantage when you look at it from that point of view. On the west side, of course, they have 3 quarterbacks available today and are playing, and they have to switch in and out, obviously. It gives less opportunity to learn the defense, less opportunity for you to get into any sort of a rhythm. And one other thing that we've seen sort of come out today is that it gives you a longer time to have to think about mistakes that you make. You have to sit over there on the sideline for a long time thinking about a pass that you missed or a fumble that you had or an interception that occurred, and that can take a toll on a quarterback certainly, but that's part of the maturation process and the perseverance necessary to play that position certainly. And we do want to tell you that Team East doesn't have just one quarterback on the roster. They do have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Anthony Jones, a 6'1", 180-pound quarterback from Booker T. Washington High School in Louisiana, is unavailable today. And then Brady Lichtenberg, who we heard from earlier down on the sideline with Jada Teague, he's from St. John's Jesuit High School in Ohio. He's a Cincinnati commit, is sort of playing it cautious today with just being banged up a little bit, didn't want to come out and tweak anything, make anything any worse than maybe it already is. And so he is not in the lineup today for Team East and Coach Ken Stills. And so the beneficiary of that is Jalen Macon. He gets a chance to come out here and show what he's made of. Had a lot of interest from the Ohio Valley Conference. Recently committed to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And they are getting a talented quarterback, a guy who can really throw the football down the field and attack in the vertical passing game.
Yeah, a lot of these schools now in high school, it's shotgun, it's pass the ball down the field. And a lot of them come into college ready-made, ready to go and throw the football down the field. You fine-tune some things, but we saw a lot today how he just has the ability to go out there and sling that football around the park.
So as we mentioned just a moment ago, it'll be Team West to receive the opening kickoff. The last time that Logan Seibert was out here, he kicked it 5 yards deep in the end zone to Shanderick Powell, who then returned it for a touchdown. And here comes Powell again, this time 8 yards deep up the right side, slips out of a tackle, and he's running free again down the sideline. And he seems upset that he didn't turn that into an even bigger return, but he gets it out to the 47-yard line. What a player, what a dynamic ability in the return game.
This kid's special. This kid's special, and had it not been for a shoestring tackle, he might have been going for another touchdown again.
You just saw a replay of his last return that did end in a 104-yard touchdown return. This one, a little disappointing, I guess. He got to the 44, 8 yards deep out of the end zone. My goodness. So now Team West will start in the gray jerseys at their own 44-yard line. And it will be number 14, Cameron McCoy out of St. Mary's High School in Missouri as the quarterback here on 1st and 10. And he'll hand it off to DeAndre Exford, and Exford will get outside the numbers and get to midfield. Gain 6 on first down.
Team West is picked up right where they left off, getting to the edge. That's been their bread and butter all game long, finding ways to get their ball carriers to the edge, and they've had success almost every single time they've done it.
Now, the speed of Team West has been on display from multiple different guys offensively here today. And DeAndre Exford right there showing he had the ability to get outside. 6-yard gain, ball at the top of the blue star on 2nd down and 4. McCoy in the pistol will turn and hand again to Exford, and this time he's eaten up and driven down immediately. Nice tackle made in the backfield. Trey Newsom was there, along with several others to make that hit. And that loss back to the 49-yard line will set up a 3rd down. And 5 to go now for Team West on the first offensive possession of this 3rd quarter.
I'm going to assume right here it's something to get their ball carriers on the edge. Okay, they've been getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop, getting their ball carriers on the edge. So whether it's an RPO, whether it's some sort of option play, some sprint type play, somewhere where they can get their guys on the edge in space.
Exford is the running back to the left of McCoy. 3rd down and 5. Back to throw, pressure comes, he spins away from that, plants, fires deep, and he had a man, but it's incomplete. Intended for Jake Pospisil, who had a long touchdown catch earlier in this game, and that throw came out a bit high.
Yeah, great pocket awareness. Had the Tony Romo spin out, just couldn't deliver the ball down the field. Sailed a little high, but great pocket awareness, being able to spin out of that, get on the edge, find a receiver downfield. He had him. He had a guy open, just couldn't connect.
You do have to like the pocket awareness. A lot of quarterbacks don't see that pressure. They don't feel it coming off of their blind side, and they get killed on a play like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great job by McCoy to feel it, to spin out of it, and now the punt is beautifully placed down the field by William Joyce. This is his 2nd really nice punt of the afternoon. It goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That will back up Team East deep in their own territory to begin their first drive of the 3rd quarter. 14:29 remaining, and Team East down by 14.
Probably not a fun topic to talk about, but got to give credit to a lot of these punters today. These punters have been doing a fantastic job. I mean, that's an angle punt that bounced and went out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That's a great punt by Team West.
Of course, all of the kickers and punters and long snappers in this game come from Cole's Kicking. Anthony Giuliano here from that organization, coaching special teams for Team East, as Macon escapes the pocket, steps up and gains some positive yardage across the 15-yard line up to around the 19. 2nd down and about 3 coming up.
That's what 6'5", 225 gets you. Being able to have defenders bounce off of you and take something that was a loss and turn it into an 8-yard gain.
Macon again back to throw. Quick slant across the middle. That pass is caught. Nicely done by Dayton Ford, the receiver from Grace Brethren High School in California. Ford's first catch of the game, and it's a 1st down for Team East. And of course, if you've never heard us tell this story, the punters and the kickers in these blue-gray All-American Bowls wear number 3 and number 27. There's a handoff up the middle to about the 31-yard line. Alec McEwen on the carry for Team East. And number 3 and number 27 in memoriam of former Nebraska punter Sam Foltz, former Michigan State punter Mike Sadler, who were both tragically killed in a car accident returning from a kicking camp in Wisconsin back in 2016. Those 2 young men taken far too early back in 2016 in a single car crash, and just such a great gesture from Gus Bell and the All-American Bowl to have the kickers and punters wear their numbers to remember them, as that pass is broken up deep intended for Connor Wilson, and there was good tight coverage provided on the play by Team West. I believe that was DeJuan Singleton, the 6'1", 175-pound corner from West Jefferson High School in Louisiana. Good coverage on the play, sets up a 3rd down and 7 coming up. Yeah, you're right, Jesse. We are spoiled year in and year out, game in and game out by the punters and the kickers in these games, as a handoff up the middle will be well short of a 1st down. Barika Kapinu got the carry. He is the North Dakota State commit. And it's going to be 4th down, time to punt for Team East. Interesting play call there by...
Guess who's returning punts?
Here we go. Shanderick Powell.
Shanderick Powell.
On the far side, standing on the 30-yard line. Now he's going to back up a few yards. Over there on the near side is DeAndre Exford. Here's the punt by Nwosu. And it's going to bounce. It's going to take a nice roll for Team East. It's still going inside the 10. And it's going to be down at the 8-yard line. That's a great punt.
It's a
58
great punt,
yards.
But I wanted him to punt it to Powell. But I understand why he didn't.
Yeah, I don't want Powell. If I'm the other team, I don't want Powell in the same zip code as the football.
I'd have to agree with you. Another booming punt. 58 yards. Like these are high school kids.
Yeah.
These are high school kids, and they're booming this football on punts.
It's incredible to watch. It's such a weapon. And a lot of these kids do end up going on and playing college football, if not on scholarship, then as preferred walk-ons. And you know, if you're in Alabama, a Clemson, an Oklahoma, you have to have good punters, good kickers. You have to find kids from an organization like Cole's Kicking that can come in and do the job for you. Every good program has one, and organizations like Cole's are doing a great job training up the next place kickers and long snappers and punters to play college football and then eventually play in the National Football League, as Dalen Powell just sort of ho-hums his way to another 1st down.
Like punters and kickers, good punters and kickers are like renter's insurance, car insurance. You never know you need it until you need it. You know, it's like you get to these games and say, well, yeah, we can do this and this, and it comes down to, hey, we really need a field goal right here. Or, hey, I really need a booming punt so we can back this team up and give our team a chance to win.
Here's Shanderick Powell on the carry, another 10 yards and another 1st down. Dalen hands off to his brother Shanderick, and that has been, as you said earlier, Jesse, a winning formula for Team West here today.
Yeah, you give it to a Powell. That, like, we see coaches like Nick Saban, and we see coaches like Dabo Swinney, and you think about, like, you know, what makes them great coaches? When you got guys like Trevor Lawrence, like, players make coaching easier. And when you got players like Shanderick Powell, it makes life easier. It makes coaching easier, because if I just give him the football, if I just allow him to do what he is naturally born to do, my job becomes a lot easier. So you think about coaching as this, you know, it's this complex, weird thing. No, when you got guys like Shanderick Powell on your team, or guys like Trevor Lawrence on your football team, or guys like Devontae Smith on your team, coaching becomes a lot easier, because the simple math, 1 + 1 = 2. Take this football, give it to that guy, get the hell out of his way, and it always turns out to be something positive.
Well, no question. Let's give some credit also to Ruben Almendarez on that last run by Powell. He had the great point of attack block that helped Powell out. And look at Powell reverse field here. He's going to get a block from his brother Dalen out in front. He's got a 1st down. He crosses the 50. Shanderick Powell. I mean, the superlatives were out of him. It's unbelievable, the guy, what he is able to do.
Good for another 1st down.
In case you forgot, that play was supposed to go left.
I can close my eyes, and you can do the talking for the rest of this broadcast, and all I have to hear you say is Shunderick Powell, and I know, as a guy who has his eyes closed, it's going to be a positive play. It's going to be something that is going in the positive direction.
There's a lot of time left in this football game, don't get me wrong here. If Shunderick Powell doesn't win offensive MVP, and it's not unanimous, something crazy happened here. Dalen Powell back to throw and is going to take off, hurdles over a defender, and gets to the 35-yard line. Nice, exciting run there from Dalen Powell. Just when you think you see one Powell brother do something amazing, here comes the other one right behind him to do something equally as awesome.
Talk about a headache. You think, all right, hold on. They didn't give it to Shunderick. Oh, wait, there's another Powell we have to deal with? Like, that is a headache. I don't know what high school conference they played in or their high school opponents, but boy, that has to be a headache to defend those two guys each and every week.
There was a lot of lost sleep in Hoxie, Arkansas, down in that area, I guarantee you. 2nd down and 4. Dalen Powell back to throw, has a clean pocket. Will roll to his right, pointing downfield, wants a block and gets one, and has a first down as he crosses the 30-yard line, and we'll go downstairs right now to Jada Teague.
Another West first down.
I'm here with Jalen Castleberry. So we know that you were attending the All-American Combine earlier. Tell us how it feels to be here now at the Blue-Gray Bowl.
It's a great experience, just visiting Texas and stuff like that. I get to meet a bunch of other guys, that love the same game that I love to play, and I'm just glad to be here.
So Jalen, tell us about recruiting and how that's going for you.
Recruiting is going very well. I'm talking between Eastern Illinois and Central Michigan. Central Michigan gave me a preferred walk-on. So, I'm glad to take any opportunity, So I'm just glad that people are giving me opportunities to play the game of football.
And tell us how it feels being coached by these former NFL players.
Oh, man, it's exciting. It's exciting. Learn from what they know, and then what I know, just try to give tips to everybody, which they love. And I'm glad they love it, So I'm glad.
We're excited to see where you end up. We'll go ahead and take it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jada. Jalen Castleberry having a nice game as a cornerback for Team East. Receiving a lot of interest from the MAC. Right there on that last play, Tristan Everard made the catch on the pass from Dalen Powell. Sets up 2nd down and 1. 9 minutes to play here in this 3rd quarter. The West by 14. Powell back to throw and slings one out left. That pass a little low and incomplete. Intended for Carter Stokes, the receiver out of Reno, Nevada. You asked about Hoxie, Arkansas, Jesse, and our research department delivered. They were 12-1 this year. They started undefeated, lost in the 4th round of the playoffs to McGahee High School back on December the 11th, 20-18, but their offense scored a lot of points throughout the season in their 13 games. Really, all but about 2 of them were 45 or more points scored.
I guarantee you the headlines read, Powell did something great in those games.
And here's Shunderick slipping out of another tackle, got to the corner, and will be knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Sets up 1st and goal for Team West.
I know he's committed to Northern Alabama. And you come to this game to get more national exposure. I don't know if that commitment will stand after this football game. And maybe it does. Maybe he says, you know what, I really dreamed of going to play football with my brother at Northern Alabama. But the performance he's putting on today, I would not be shocked if we look back in a month or so and they've said, I reopened my my recruitment because offers from bigger schools have come in.
Pass across the middle here for Stokes is incomplete.
2nd and goal.
I've got Shanderick Powell's final high school season statistics for you here in just a moment.
This kid, even on that last run, you saw him, his balance, his elusiveness, his nose for the end zone. Like, he was trying to go and score. He wasn't trying to run out of bounds. He was saying, I'm going to give everything I got to get this ball across the goal line.
And they're going to throw across the middle. That pass is deflected away, incomplete. Nice play made defensively, and it will set up 3rd down and goal to go.
That was a good throw. Slant route from the inside. Hit the receivers in the hand. You want a guy to bring that in for you, especially down here in the red zone. It's going to be a big call right here for Coach Wallace and Team West.
Yeah, Shanderick on his Twitter account lists himself as a North Alabama commit. I was trying to figure out if he had possibly already signed his national letter of intent to play at North Alabama, but I guess it remains to be seen whether or not he does end up signing to play there. And he's going to be in the backfield now along with his brother Dalen. On 3rd and goal, it'll be Dalen to run it, and he will get to the goal line. He will be in for the touchdown. Dalen Powell with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. I don't know, can you give it to both Powell brothers? The
Just
West out in
on
front, about to be up by 3 touchdowns.
They're probably going to share a room in college. Just put Powell on the offensive MVP and just hang it up in the wall and you know, in a mantle of mom's house.
So the extra point here by Team West.
Oh, no, they called him down at the 1.
Oh, you're right. I saw the near line judge signal touchdown.
And timeout called by the
Timeout is going to be called by the East as Team West gets ready to go for it here on 4th and goal. So they either changed that call or just overruled this near side line judge who I saw put up the 2 arms to indicate touchdown. And Jesse, I know we're putting a lot of emphasis here on Dalen and Shanderick Powell, but just one last thing here maybe. Dalen Powell, the quarterback, they didn't throw it a ton. He only had 97 attempts as a senior, but did throw for almost 1,600 yards on 55 completions, 133 passing yards a game, 20 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So great ratio there. He was even better in the running game. Talking about Dalen Powell, he had 1,867 rushing yards, averaged 16.8 per carry, and had 34 rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
His brother Shanderick was behind him both in yards and in TDs, but not by much. 1,829 rushing yards and 28 touchdowns.
That's a lot of RPOs right there.
Would you like to reconfirm your comment about defensive coordinators in that district being up at night? Here is now a touchdown, and it was Dalen Powell reaching out across the goal line. Touchdown, Team West. And what we thought happened on 3rd down just gets delayed for a play. Now the extra point to put them up by 3 touchdowns.
No, I still stand on that comment. Those coordinators on the other side of the ball, they spent many a nights trying to figure out, up late at night, scratching their head, watching film, trying to figure out, how do we stop the Powell brothers? Because you got to account for both of them on every single play. And when you're running the RPO, is he going to put it in his gut? Is he going to snatch it out? That can give you a headache.
Nightmares. 7:37 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And this right here, just about in fact, it is the highest scoring class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl game that we've had. And we still have a quarter and a half to play here in Arlington. 42-21. The West with the lead. If you've been with us since the beginning, you know that this is quite a turnaround. The East was up 14-0 very early in this game. They appeared ready to put it away, and then all of a sudden, Team West went on a little run and scored 28 points unanswered. Now the ensuing kickoff from Colby Sessom, high and deep and unreturnable. You know, I thought this yesterday, Jesse, as we were watching the NFC and AFC championship games. How much longer is the kickoff even going to be a play in football? I mean, I know we saw a return for a touchdown in this game, so certainly there's some evidence that it should remain in the game of football, but I mean, I would love to see the percentage of kickoffs that end just like we saw right there with a kick that basically is unreturnable, even if you wanted to return it.
Yeah, I get that 100%, but as a guy who cut his teeth in the league and who made a pretty good living in the league, primarily playing special teams.
Well, look at that play by Jared Smith to come back to the football. 75-yard touchdown. And if there's anybody that will give Shanderick Powell a run for his money for offensive MVP, it's that guy right there, number 11, who just caught his third touchdown pass of the game on another beautifully thrown pass from Jalen Macon.
And this ball was underthrown. And you talk about having awareness and being able to track the football. The ball was underthrown, and he came back and caught that football and turned it into a touchdown. You're absolutely right. If there's anyone who can challenge him, Smith, number 11 from the East, is definitely one that's going to give Shanderick a run for his money.
Now the extra point by Seibert, and he punches it up and in. 7:25 to play in the third. Great game today at AT&T Stadium. The West 42, the East 28. We'll be back to Arlington here in a moment.
Because of this, we made Ford Super Duty the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Because of this, we built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and best-in-class payload.
Rescue 614 en route.
Because of this, we built Ford Ranger with the terrain management system. And because Ford trucks are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Jared Smith here today in Arlington with an 81-yard touchdown reception, now a 75-yard touchdown reception. He had one early on in the game that gave East the first points of the game, put them up 7-0 early in the first quarter. And that right there, Jesse, as we saw in the replay, to come back to that football shows just a lot of great instincts as a receiver to know that you have to do that in order to make the catch.
Absolutely. Body control, instincts, being able to track the ball, and then at the end of the day, completing the catch. And not just completing the catch to fall down it, but completing the catch and turning it into something special.
So that kickoff kicked away from Shanderick Powell, 6 yards deep in the end zone for a touchback. Team West will come back out on offense here, starting at their 25-yard line. 42-28 is the score. We're in the third quarter with 7:25 remaining. And we're going to see Cameron McCoy at the quarterback position now for Team West from Missouri State. He's got a couple of touchdown passes in the game. One of those to A.J. Gonzalk in the first half. Team West in the gray jerseys, starting at their own 25-yard line. McCoy back to throw, dumps it off into the left flats, and a nice tackle made out in space by Charles Holbrooks from Stuart Kramer High School in North Carolina. The running back Donovan Zuniga with that catch. No gain. Will bring up second down and 10.
McCoy, he has some pop to his throws. You know, not a big guy, but when you watch him throw, that ball comes off with a little bit of spice to it. It comes off with a little bit of heat to it, and he has the ability, we saw earlier when he threw a couple fade routes, is it jumps off his hands. It reminds me of Russell Wilson, you know, Kyler Murray. Not really big as far as stature, but has a powerful arm, and he just flicks his wrist, and the ball jumps out of his hand, and can get places in a hurry.
And here's a handoff to Darius Steptoe coming to the near side, and he takes a pop from Jack Gossman, the defensive back from St. James Academy in Kansas. Gain on the play for Steptoe of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Kansas
see that hit.
I like that. Come downhill with aggression. He came with bad intentions.
That's the physicality that a lot of coaches admire and respect and desire for their football teams. That's been sort of the story at a lot of big-time programs where these coaches come in and are trying to rebuild programs, and a lot of it is the culture and a lack of physicality. And guys like Gossman, who can deliver big hits like that, clean hits, does a lot to change the identity of your football team, as this pass is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in the secondary. So this is probably defensive pass interference, and we're going to go downstairs right now to Jada Teague, who is with Jared Smith.
All right, I'm here with Jared Smith out of Alabama. You made 3 touchdown passes today. Tell me what was going through your mind.
The receiver coaches gave me a chance and opportunity to go deep and showcase my skill, and I took it, and I'm thankful to be in this game actually, and have the much trust on the coaches have on me.
All right, so tell me how the recruiting process is going for you so far.
Troy, Albany, and New York, and West Florida have been pushing really hard and trying to get me. And I like all 3 of them schools. It just comes down to like which one best fits me, has my degree, and education-wise.
What is something that you can take from this blue-gray game to the next level?
Definitely taking coaching, like criticism. Just like those coaches over there really push us really hard during practice. They don't like much takes. They say this is just gonna be just like college. So I'm gonna take this to the next level and already get my mind ready for coaching like that.
We're excited for you. We'll go ahead and take it back up to you guys.
All right, Jared with a good head on his shoulders, as you hear him talking about one of the key factors in his recruiting is which college has the major he's interested in. And I'm not sure that every recruit in the country necessarily looks into that before they make a decision, but it's good to hear that at least one does. Jared Smith having a great game here today, and I'm sure he'll add to his offer list before the week is out. 2nd down and 8 here for Team West, as Cameron McCoy is at the controls of the offense right now.
One thing that's important when you heard just what Cam Smith just talked about, what school has my degree? And a lot of these kids, if not all of these kids, have the dreams and goals and aspirations of playing at the next level. Get back to it after this play.
McCoy with a nice pump fake. He's going to make one defender just completely fall down and get outside and be short of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down coming up, but as you look at the replay, somebody right there in the middle of the field, we'll do him the courtesy of not giving his name, not exactly able to get McCoy to the ground there.
But to follow what I was saying is, a lot of these kids have goals and dreams and aspirations of playing in the National Football League. That's 1% of 1%. When you think about the mathematics of that, there's 127 Division I universities. Division I, with at least 80 to 100 players on each team. That's not counting Division II or Division III or NAIA or JUCO. I mean, the numbers grow and grow and grow and grow. And the realistic thing is that everybody's not going to go. You're not going to find yourself on an NFL roster. Some will, but a lot won't. And being able to go to a school and have a free education, to have your education paid for, and then be able to graduate with the degree. You now have no more school, you don't have any school debt, and you have a leg up because now I have a degree. So to hear that, some people just think about I'm just going to play ball, so I'm going to the league. This is the mindset to have. I want to go somewhere where I can get a degree that's going to be something that I want to do and it's going to be able to help my future. And if I get to the National Football League, that's the cherry on top. It's not the other way around. It's not, hey, I'll get to the National Football League and the cherry top is my degree. It's the degree first, and then the cherry on top is getting to the National Football League.
Pass into the right flats, caught by Zuniga, and Zuniga will get to around the 47-yard line. It looks like they're going to mark him out at about the 47, and so that's short of a first down. 4th and 2 coming up, and so Team West will punt the ball away. Coming in is William Joyce, who has had several good efforts here today in the punting game. And I think everything that you just said, Jesse, is right on cue, right on spot, and exactly what the spirit of this organization is, this blue-gray football organization. Gus Bell, the CEO, his brother Dick Bell, heavily involved as well, as Jalen Castleberry gets the return and will get to the 20-yard line. 2 penalty flags come in on the play, and so we'll have to see what those are about. But I think you're exactly right. I would love to see and hear more student athletes talk about using the game of football as a vehicle towards a free education. And I think a lot of it has been sort of in a negative way. Just the attitude has changed now in this era of Twitter and huddle, and it's given these players more of a spotlight. And in some ways that's a good thing, but in other ways it creates sort of this almost like Madonna idea in these players' heads of, I'm going to go and I'm going to be Chad Johnson, or I'm going to be Terrell Owens, or I'm going to be a Stephon Diggs. And like you said, the odds are you're probably not going to be one of those guys. You're probably going to be Ryan Castle, and that's not a bad thing. But it is a bad thing if you're a Ryan Castle without an education.
And you're absolutely right. And I tell a lot of young athletes this, don't look at someone's 15-second clip or minute video and think, well, I can do that. When you fail to realize all the work that it takes to get to that 60-second clip, that 2-minute video, to be that Chad Johnson, right? There's a lot of hard work. I remember being a rookie and watching Chad Johnson take every single rep in practice on a hot day in Georgetown, Kentucky in training camp. He took every rep. And then he tried to come over and take the backups reps. I mean, he wanted every single rep, and we're trying to fight for a spot.
There's a nice play. Catch is made. Team East on the move as that pass is caught by Grant Goodman off of the right arm of the quarterback, Jalen Macon, who is still in there slinging it around here late in the third quarter. Goodman out of St. Xavier High School in Kentucky made a nice catch, able to shed a tackle and stay in bounds, and got up to the 44-yard line to move the chains. Back to throw again. And he's going to go deep, this time to Goodman again, and that pass is caught inside the 20-yard line. Grant Goodman with back-to-back catches to set up Team East inside the red zone.
And Macon is battling, man. He's out here. He's saying, listen, I know that we're down a couple touchdowns, but I'm battling. I'm going to keep coming out here and trying to give us an opportunity to win. And we saw on this drive him just battle his way. And now they're in the 20-yard line heading in. And let's see if we can get a touchdown out of this drive.
He's going to turn and hand it off. This is number 20, Trevon Moore from Eastern High School in Kentucky. And Moore will gain a yard to the 19. And it feels like the West is just completely dominating this football game. But you look up on the scoreboard, the East is in scoring range here, down by only 14. A touchdown here makes it a one-possession game. And the East is anything but out of it, with a chance to cut a little deeper into that lead here. Macon in the gun on 2nd and 9. Play fake. And rolls to his right, and he's just going to throw it backwards, and that's going to be a live ball. A penalty flag comes in, and that's sort of just a rather confusing play, to tell you the truth. The penalty flag is down as we take a look at the replay. You be the judge here.
Yeah.
That's a backwards pass. I didn't see it ever go out of bounds. The officials will try to sort this out. It is intentional grounding, so a huge break here from what I can tell from Team East, as that should have been a live ball. And They're just going to have an intentional grounding, loss of down, loss of yardage to the 28-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 18.
Yeah, they were debating whether or not it was intentional grounding or did the defender knock the ball out of his hand, so they spotted for a fumble.
Okay. I did not see the deflection out of the hands, but that's the key ingredient there. Here's a pass to the end zone. Reaching back to make the catch is Jared Smith. That'll get on your show there, Jesse.
You got most.
Wow, what a catch by Smith. His 4th touchdown of the game. And the extra point will put Team East back to within a score as you take another look. Reaching back to his outside shoulder and making the grab.
I know I said earlier to start putting the names on Derek Powell in that MVP trophy.
Maybe do it in pencil.
I don't know about that just yet. Jared Smith says, hold on, Jesse Holly. I know that you might have a little bit of an infatuation for Derek Smith, but you got to watch me play for another quarter, and I might be able to change your mind. And I'm going to say, young man, you just might do that.
42-35. Great game today in Arlington. We're at AT&T Stadium. The West still up by 7. We'll be back here in a moment.
Panera's new Baja Warm Grain Bowl is full of good, full of tasty, good-for-you ingredients, fresh and filling, so that you too will be full of good. Try our new warm grain bowls today. Panera, food as it should be.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Jared Smith with his 4th touchdown catch of the afternoon here at AT&T Stadium, and what a performance by him and by Jalen Macon in the passing game. Team East is in this football game despite getting just worked in the turnover battle. And now the ensuing kickoff from Logan Seibert from Belleville West High School in Illinois. And he's going to kick it in the opposite direction of Shanderick Powell. Here comes the return, and it is by Jack Pospisil, and Pospisil will get out to the 20 with a penalty flag down on the return. And it's against Team West, so they will have to back up. And it's funny how football games work, Jesse, because it really did feel like the game was out of reach, even though the score wasn't really necessarily lopsided. It just felt like Team West's momentum was going to be too much to overcome for Team East, and they just sort of quietly clawed their way back into the game. And you can kind of see Team West starting to allow penalties and some mistakes creep in. And now they're going to have to start back at their own 8-yard line.
That's the beauty of this game, is when you think it's over, 1 or 2 plays going the opposite way, and the football team is right back in it. And we thought this game was kind of done. We thought West was going to cruise to a victory, and East is waking up.
They've scored 14 unanswered points. And now Dalen Powell out there with DeAndre Exford as the running back. High snap, gives it to Exford, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield. Good pursuit by Jonathan Bruder, the linebacker from Centerville High School in Ohio. As you take a look at the replay, nice play by Powell just to get the snap, and then Bruder with the pursuit to tackle Exford for a loss. So 2nd down in that space starting to evaporate for Team West. They're now back at their 6-yard line, and another snap like that will give them a lot of reason for worry. Dalen Powell, the only player from Hoxie, Alabama out there right now. An end around here to Pospisil, and Pospisil will break through the line and have a 1st down across the 20. Out to about the 24-yard line. Good strong running by Jack Pospisil out of Pomona High School in Colorado.
Yeah, good run by Jack, good call by Coach Wallace, and just giving themselves an opportunity to get away from their end zone, give themselves some space, fresh set of downs, and now you can operate like you normally would. You don't have that pressure on you of being backed up and having a mistake happen, and it cost you greatly. So being able to get a first down, get your drive going, get things moving in a positive direction was huge for Team West.
And I'll tell you who threw one of the best blocks on that play was Dalen Powell, the quarterback. He hands off here to DeAndre Exford, and Exford will cross the 25 and get to about the 28-yard line for a gain of 4. Under a minute now to play in this third quarter. 42-35, the West with the lead. It was 35-21 at halftime. The West scored the first touchdown of the third quarter to go up by 21 points. Since then, 14 unanswered for Team East as Exford will break into the second level, cross the 35, and get a first down to the 37-yard line. Gain of 9 there. It will bring up a first down and 10 at the Team West 37.
That's one of Team West's first positive runs going up the middle. Everything that they've gotten been more so on the edge, right? Outside the tackle box. That was the first run that they've had where they've got a significant amount of yardage gained going up the middle.
Powell in the gun, no drop back, and he throws left, incomplete. Intended right there for Devontae Davis, who, as we mentioned earlier, is getting a lot of attention from some Mountain West Conference schools, particularly Colorado State appears to be interested. Wide receiver, 5'10", 175. It'll be 2nd and 10. Coming up, 23 seconds to play in the third quarter of what has been a highly entertaining and pretty well played football game today here at AT&T Stadium.
I saw a lot of times today when you saw Powell throw some of those short passes, he's aiming the ball and trying to throw it like a baseball instead of just getting your feet work together and throwing it like a football. You know, you don't want them to aim it. That's when the ball goes into the ground. You saw that last play.
And he will be sacked on this play by Percy Edwards. He gets his second sack of the game out of South Central High School in North Carolina. And a big loss back to the 29-yard line. That's going to be the final play of this third quarter. As you see coming in alongside Edwards was Tyler Love out of Fulton County High School in Kentucky. 6'2", 330 pounds, and those two put an end to the third quarter of play here at AT&T Stadium. The West 42, the East 35. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
We're back in Arlington. Ryan Castle alongside Jesse Hawley, Jada Teague, and our entire Impact Football Network team. Happy to have you with us whenever you may be accessing this broadcast. And we will go to the fourth quarter now. Team West holding on to a 7-point lead in what has been a back-and-forth affair. Another good one here in the class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Team West with the football right now, backed up 3rd and 18 after the sack that ended the third quarter by Percy Edwards and Tyler Love. And a chance now for Team East to get their defense off the field and give the ball back to their offense with a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, there aren't too many 3rd and 20 plays, 29 plays, that you have in the playbook.
Dalen Powell in the gun. Will roll the pocket left, pressure comes. Now he goes back to the right, and that pass deflected away and incomplete. Nice idea by Team West, but the execution was a bit wanting, and good play made up front by Team East. It'll be 4th down and time to punt.
Coach T got to get with that defense and say, all right, fellas, hey, we need to stop right here. All right, we haven't been as good as we were in the first half. We need to find a way to get it stopped. It starts right here with having a great punt, which we've seen all night, but then Team West has to come out and do their job as far as making a stop defensively.
And here's the punt and the return by Team East. Not a bad return up to the 40-yard line. On the return, number 33, Hunter Whitehead, getting his first action of the game out of Long High School in Alabama. And the East team with good starting field position. They're at their 40-yard line, down by 7 as we are just underway here in this fourth quarter. And once again, it is Jalen Macon in at quarterback. I had heard prior to the kickoff that Team East might try Jared Smith at quarterback at some point. We haven't seen him at all play quarterback. It's been all Macon, and he's done a great job. He hands off here up the middle to Jameer Ackerson, and Ackerson lowers the shoulder, delivers the boom, and picks up nothing. 2nd and 10. But perhaps the most impressive run for nothing you'll see. That might have gained a yard. Gained a yard to the 41-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down. And Team East will reload. The Memphis commit, Theron Davis, is in there as well from Newport High School in Arkansas. And this play will not materialize for Team East. Macon just trying to fight back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down coming up.
And that's a coverage sack. There was nowhere for the ball to go downfield for Macon. He was trying to look down the field, trying to make a play down the field. He's been doing a great job of throwing the ball down the field today. It's just he didn't have anyone there. The DBs are playing a little bit more off now and not giving that opportunity to kind of win at the line of scrimmage and throw that fade route.
They're going to move Davis, the future Memphis Tiger, into the flex tight end spot on the right and run the end around and trying to get a block. Omar Pickett on the run as a first down into West territory. Omar Pickett from Cook High School in Georgia, the wide receiver, taking the end around and has a first down.
It's a great play by Team East. Working the end around, some misdirection, getting the speedster in space with some great blockers out front. This play doesn't happen without a couple great blocks. You need a couple great blocks for a play this to happen for you. On 3rd down, that was a ballsy play and it worked for him.
They've liked that play, going to Pickett on that end around, and it's worked a couple of times today. Jordan Dean out there as a receiver lined up wide to the right. Now the give to Davis, and he's going to be slung backwards, still on his feet as he fights back to the line of scrimmage, and he won't make it. Tackled back at the 45-yard line and loses 4 on that first down carry. As we take another look, it was Dante Lopez from Mission High School in Texas who had the first chance at him. He really slowed up Davis and allowed the rest of the cavalry to get there.
Yeah, there was a breakdown somewhere there in the offensive line. And you saw the switch now. Team East just brought in a bunch of new offensive linemen because no one blocked Lopez. Like literally, the 270-pound dude, no one blocked him.
Macon back to throw, steps up, fires deep, and that is incomplete. Intended for Pickett. Pretty nice job to thread the needle right there by Macon, but the pass a little low and incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 14 now for Team East. They're in an interesting position of the field. If you could pick up half or more of it here, you'd have a pretty reasonable argument for going for it on 4th down. So we'll see if they try to go for all of it here on 3rd and long at the 45-yard line. Macon in the pistol. Again, the end around, this time to Pickett going the other direction, and it's Lopez again who disrupts that play. Dante Lopez was ready for that one, and it brings an end to the drive for Team East.
You know what you love as a guy who's been around football his whole life? You enjoy smart football players. Yes, we enjoy the athletic ones. Yes, we enjoy the fast ones. But the smart ones, that was a smart football play. if you saw where Lopez was going, he said, I've seen this formation before. So I'm going to head it off at the pass. And he slanted upfield, and they ran right into him. What a great, smart play by Lopez, man. I love to see smart football play.
Shunderick Powell back to return the punt.
He's human.
They actually punted it right at him. He called for a pretty fast fair catch there, I thought, and then muffed the punt, but able to recover it himself.
I thought Shunderick Powell was supernatural. I thought he was out of this world, and we just saw that he's actually human. He muffed the punt.
There were about 3 unbelievable things that happened on that play. Number 1, they punted it right to him.
Right.
Number 2, he called for a fair catch. And number 3, he muffed it. And after all of that, West with the ball, first down and 10 at their own 17-yard line. 42-35. The West with a 7-point lead, starting with the ball inside their own 20. And Cameron McCoy in at quarterback. Takes the snap, drops straight back to throw, and is going to go very deep with a man all alone. Coleman with a catch, and he cannot stay in bounds. It will be a catch, but it could have been much more. Stephon Coleman got behind the defender, and it's going to be a big play for Team West. As we take another look, the throw, pretty good, but Coleman perhaps a bit unaware of where he was, not able to stay in bounds. If he had, it would have been an 83-yard touchdown.
But you see McCoy's not a big guy. Right?
No.
He doesn't look like how Macon looks. 6'5", 230 pounds. And that ball came out of his hand with some zip.
That was effortless.
Just a simple flick of the wrist. And you see guys like Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson being able to throw the ball with the flip of the wrist, and it goes 30, 40, 50 yards downfield.
Here's Shunderick Powell on the carry. Good patient running, then finally just decides to bounce it outside and gets to the 30-yard line, gain of 8.
I don't know if you noticed this, but a decision that I guess Coach Teague and Coach Wallace made in the second half. We saw a lot of the Powell brothers playing together with Daylon being the quarterback and Shunderick being the running back. And the last series or two, you've seen the switch. You've seen them go from being a running back and quarterback combination to now they're playing the brother, dialing the quarterback by himself, and then Shunderick with McCoy.
Handoff right up the middle for Team West. Penalty flag comes in. The run was good enough for a first down, but we have to wait and see what the penalty is about. Jalen Davis got that carry. And we're going to go downstairs right now to Jada T.
All right, I'm here with Imari Pate out of California. Now, y'all's season was canceled due to COVID, unfortunately, and this will be your last game as a senior. Tell us about that.
I mean, it just feels great to be able to play since our season got canceled and get to just show how much I was working on the offseason, just showcase what I could do.
All right, now we saw that you had an interception in the first half. Tell us what was going through your mind during that.
I mean, I had a feeling it was coming to my side because the quarterback kept looking. So, was in cover 2. So I made him go inside. He went inside, I called and then I seen the corner coming out, and I just seen the quarterback look at me and just throw it my way.
All right, and we know that you're committed to Fresno State. Tell us the whole process behind making that decision.
The whole process behind making that decision, I just feel like that's the best opportunity before me. And my bond with the coaches, staff, Coach DeBoer, the head coach, Coach Juice, and Coach Courtney Morgan, that's a great bond, and I just feel like they're going to take care of me, and I feel like that's just the best decision for me.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll go ahead and take it back up to you guys.
All right, Jada, Amari Tate with an interception, or Pate, I beg your pardon, with an interception earlier in that first half. Here's Cameron McCoy to take off and run himself on 3rd down and 11, and Cameron McCoy will turn that into a first down.
This guy's slippery, man.
Boy, he's fun to watch. St. Mary's High School in Missouri, headed to Missouri State. He's listed at 6'2", 185. And I beg your pardon, they're going to mark him short. They marked him short of a first down.
Wow.
That's a very unfortunate spot. Cameron McGoy visibly upset at that spot. George Teague's not pleased either. So the West will have to settle for a field goal try. It's a 45-yarder from the right hash from Colby Sessom. He has plenty of distance, and it is good. So that ups the lead to 10 now for Team West, 45-35, with just over 10 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. We'll return into Arlington in just a moment with the West leading by 10.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
10:05 remaining in this football game, and this is already the highest scoring of the class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls. 45-35, the West with the lead. They wanted more on that possession. A 3rd down and 11 run by Cameron McGoy marked short of a first down. And Colby Sessom with a 45-yard field goal to up the lead to 10. And now the ensuing kickoff high and deep and into the end zone for a touchback.
I'm never mad at points in an all-star game. That's always a good thing. When you have this type of this collection of talent from all over the country, you expect points to be scored. We've been in some games where it wasn't quite the high-scoring game. But these type of games you enjoy, they're fun to watch, they're fun to be a part of. And the more points you score, the more opportunity that everyone gets. You get a chance to have different series and so on and so forth. So I'm always going to be a fan of points being scored.
Here's Barika Kapinu on the carry. He's into the second level and still on his feet as he breaks through a tackle and crosses midfield into Team West territory. Barika Kapinu, the North Dakota State commit, with a nice run to start the drive. We have...
And he's down now. Like he came up limping on that last run toward the end of the run, and he's down in the backfield as the trainers come out and check on him.
Well, timeout will be called by the officials. And they'll come out and take a look at him. 45-35, the West with a 10-point lead. And, you really don't ever know what to expect in these types of games. We're certainly blessed to be able to watch them and see a lot of talent. But with the lack of practice time, you're just not ever quite sure if the cohesiveness necessary to play a football game will be there.
Right.
But you know what, Jesse? We've been blessed the second time within a week to see really good football. The one last week, not quite as high scoring as this one. That was a 25-24 win for the East last week in the second of these 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls. But both of these games here in January have been really well played. And here the handoff to Alec McEwen, and McEwen will carry the ball to the 41-yard line and a gain of 8.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They've been super entertaining, and we've seen a lot of these players come into this game and shine. Some that we've heard of, some that we haven't heard of, but that's what you want. You want players to come into this game, and you want them to have performances of a lifetime, and we've seen some of those in the last couple weeks. Got him again.
This will be a penalty. Connor Wilson, the receiver, got going a little early there. As the sun starts to shine in through the windows here at AT&T Stadium. It begins to play a little bit of a factor for the team headed toward that direction, which right now is Team East here in this fourth quarter with 9:24 left. That false start will make it 2nd down and about 7 now.
Ryan, what has impressed you the most about today's game?
I think it's been the way Team East has showed their resilience. There's a handoff to McEwen again, and McEwen will have a first down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and that's, of course, beyond the obvious. We've seen 2 fantastic offensive performances, one from Shanderick Powell for the West team, the other from Jared Smith, the receiver for Team East. But really, for me, it's been the way that Team East has continued just to fight back into the football game. I think when you give up 28 unanswered points after leading 14-0, it's easy just to go, all right, well, let me just get mine and get up on out of here. But they've continued to fight hard, and they're in this football game with 9 minutes to play.
That's a great point. I think for me, the thing that's impressed me the most is just how clean this game has been.
Oh, there's no question.
Competitive game, physical game, but we've been in some games where it just looks messy. It looks sloppy. Players.
There's a deep pass and incomplete.
Players look like they didn't know what was going on or having issues. But this game has been a clean game. It's been one that's been enjoyable to watch, and the cohesiveness, which again is a huge thing when it comes to football, and the lack of time that they've had together because of the schedule and the rain. I was impressed in just how clean this football game was.
I cannot say enough for the preparation that these players and coaches do as Jared Smith comes back to make another catch.
You mean he didn't score a touchdown again?
Unbelievable. I think it's his first catch of the game that didn't result in a touchdown.
What a letdown. No.
Yeah, what is he, some kind of a scrub?
What is this guy doing, man? He's not scoring touchdowns every time now?
What a game for Jared Smith. That time right there showed his ability to just plant his foot in the ground, come back, make the catch for a first down. And you talked about that in last week's game, just that awareness as a receiver. When you run that route, you got to run it past the sticks as McEwen breaks out of some tackles and will carry it inside the 10. It's 1st and goal for Team East as they are just running it down the throat of Team West right now. 1st and goal as they make some massive substitutions up front.
It's a huge run, tough run. I've seen a lot of good runs by these running backs today, and the thing that's been impressive to me is their balance. Their ability to take hits down low, keep their balance, keep their feet moving, keep their legs churning, and turn what would have been a 5 or 4 yard gain to something that's 12, 15, 17 yards. Great balance by these backs on both sides.
Macon with a fake handoff, pitches it now. And this is Trevon Moore, and Moore will get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Number 20, Trevon Moore.
The running back out of Eastern High School in Kentucky with a nice run right here on the option to the left as we take another look. They did a great job to make a guy miss right there around the 5-yard line.
And you see that little stutter? That little stutter, what it does is I got a guy coming at me full speed, and I give it a little stutter, and all of a sudden his feet stop. And when his feet stop and my feet keep going, I only need a half a step to get to that corner. So it's a little subtle moves like that you see from a running back. A little, I get his feet to stop, I take off, I run to that front pylon, and I get a touchdown.
8:04 left here in this fourth quarter. Team East is back to within 3. 8:04 left to play. Don't go anywhere. We're back here to Arlington in a moment.
Clean food. Words you don't often hear. Words we at Panera live by. Because clean food is food as it should be, with no artificial flavors, preservative sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. We think clean food tastes better, feels better, does better. 100% of our food will be clean by year's end. Every bite will be food as it should be.
Three-point game here in Arlington. We're in the fourth quarter. The class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. I'm Ryan Castle along with Jesse Holley. A big thanks as always to the man who runs the show here for Blue Gray Football, Gus Bell, the CEO, Sean Siglinski, the Director of Media Relations, does a great job supporting us, getting everything we need to tell you about the fantastic players that year in and year out, game in and game out, put their talents on display in NFL stadiums around the country. And the ensuing kickoff will go out of the end zone for a touchback. Team West will start 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And their offense here, Jesse's going to have to shake off some cobwebs. It's been a while since they have really done much offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's key. And you know when the game is come down to winning time. How do you know? I told you earlier, Coach Teague and Coach Waller, they were kind of doing this thing where they were playing the Powell brothers in opposite kind of groupings. Well, guess who's in the backfield now together?
Yeah, that's over.
The Powell brothers. They said, all right, we're done with this experimenting. Let's get these two horses back in the game. And then they are standing side by side in the backfield.
Right next to each other in the backfield on 1st and 10 at the 25. And the snap actually goes to Shenderick. I'm not sure if that was intentional. I don't think so, but Powell makes the most of it and gets to the 31-yard line for a gain of 6.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just get the ball to a Powell. Just get it back to a Powell. Doesn't matter which one. Just let him get it and go. 2nd and 4. And we're only half joking there. What a dynamic duo headed to play in the Big South Conference for North Alabama. Coach Chris Willis trying to get the Lions back to the prominence they enjoyed in the mid-90s, back-to-back national championships at the Division II level. Handoff, this is Exford, and Exford will lower the shoulder and has a first down as he crosses the 35 to the 36. And we have Jada Teague standing downstairs right now. Jada, take it away.
I'm here with Cameron McCoy. So we saw that you made 2 touchdown passes today in this game. Tell us how that made you feel.
I was very excited with the 2 touchdowns that I had. Me and my guys came together after 2 days, and we put it to work today.
So we know that you're committed to Missouri State. Tell us what you're most excited for.
Just getting on campus and being able to perform and battle for a spot.
And how does it feel being out here playing on the AT&T Stadium?
It feels amazing. I love the environment. I love to be back out here, see fans and things like that, and I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm excited to see what you do at the next level. We'll go ahead and take it back up to you guys.
Okay, Jada, thanks very much. What a game today for Cameron McCoy. And reminds us a lot of just these smaller, more prototype quarterbacks who can run, they can throw effortlessly deep down the field, and Missouri State's got a really talented player coming on campus next fall. 2nd and 10 after that first down carry went for nothing.
And McCoy said something very important. He said, for the opportunity to compete for a spot. That's important. A lot of times guys think, well, I'm the big fish in my high school, in my city, in my state, that I'm going to be the big fish on the college campus.
There's a deep throw down the near sideline, and that's going to be incomplete. Intended for Duante Davis. Good coverage as they had him bracketed on that play with Jaden Taylor and Jack Gossman. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
But when you leave school as a senior in high school, and you may have all your accolades and you may have all your accomplishments, when you get onto that campus of that university, you become small fish again. And there's a lot of guys who have been there. So having that mindset of knowing when I get to the college level that I have to earn my way back to the top again.
3rd and 10. Powell back to throw, is in trouble, dumps it off to Shenderick Powell, and Powell is going to be wrapped up and tackled in the backfield. A penalty flag does come in as the tackle is being made by Tabian Dale out of Booker T. Washington High School in Florida. Jesse, what'd you see right there?
This penalty at the end of this play is what drives coaches crazy. That penalty, that right there, leading with your head as a guy's already down on the ground. One, it's ugly and it's dangerous, but 2, you just got the stop that you needed. It's a 3-point game. Ryan, they're going to have to punt the football. And then you come in and you go diving headfirst, helmet to helmet on a defensive player, and now it's a 15-yard penalty and they extend the drive. Those are the bonehead plays that drive coaches insane. You can't have that. You can't do that. You've cost your team an opportunity and your defense an opportunity to get off the football field.
That's absolutely something that you look at the end of the game if you end up losing and go, yep, that had a major factor in the outcome. So instead of 4th down, a fresh set of downs now for Team West, and Powell off of the keeper will run it to the left side. A penalty flag came in before that big hit you saw on Dalen Powell. And I didn't see a second one come in for that hit, so apparently that was before Powell went out of bounds.
Yeah, it's in the realm of holding. That receiver on that outside trying to hold a block held him a little bit too long, so holding.
Yep, that's against Team West, and that's a mistake there that will move them back to the 39-yard line and make it 1st and 20, put them behind schedule. And back to our conversation from just a moment ago about the conversation with Jada downstairs with Cameron McCoy and his comment about, the opportunity to compete. I think that mindset has so deteriorated over the last 5 years or so in the mind of the college athlete. And so to hear Cameron talk about that in a positive light and almost be energized by arriving on campus and competing for the opportunity to possibly be the starting quarterback for Missouri State in an era where you hear the words transfer portal way more often than you should. It's just a refreshing thing as this pass is caught, and perhaps ill-advisedly caught as it was tackled immediately. Jack Pospisil made the catch, but he's going to be tackled for an even bigger loss here on this play.
No, you're absolutely right. Like the word competing, the word earning, the word having to do the work to get the reward. A lot of those times we don't see it anymore. Kids are so quick and ready to go. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going somewhere else. It's to me, it's one of those things where no matter where you go in life, and every situation is different, but no matter where you go in life, you're going to have to compete, especially in this sport. So you love to hear that mindset from a young player like that.
2nd and 20, and they gave it to the right guy, Shenderick Powell. And Powell into East Territory is short of a 1st down, but it's going to set up a much more manageable 3rd down and 3. That's a 17-yard carry for Shenderick Powell. What a player.
Now, maybe you could help me out on this. As far as the high school rule, I know in college, when your helmet comes off in the field of play, you have to go out for one play. Is that the same rule in high school?
It depends on the state. I know here in Texas, they follow that NCAA rule. So that would be true in Texas, and Blue-Gray All-American Bowl games typically follow those same guidelines.
And that's key because in that last run, Shenderick Powell's helmet came off at the end of the run, which means he's not in on this huge 3rd and 3.
Dalen Powell, the quarterback, hands off. Getting the carry is Jalen Davis. He's got a 1st down to the 40-yard line. Wow, what a guy to be able to hand it off to in the absence of Shenderick Powell. Jalen Davis, who we mentioned, won the state title for Katy, the 6A Division II state championship here at AT&T Stadium, a huge win over Cedar Hill. Back earlier in January, had over 100 yards rushing in that win for the Katy Tigers, and they gave it to him on that big 3rd down carry, Jesse, and he delivered with a 1st down.
Absolutely. That's a huge play. One, it extends the drive for you, gets you 1st down yardage. But now, Team West is what you called 4-minute offense, right? We want to bleed this clock out. You want to keep from running out of bounds. You don't want any pre-snap penalties. You don't want any penalties at all because you don't want to be backed up. Your thought press now is let's bleed this clock out and try to score a touchdown. But if not, let's at least make sure we get a field goal on there and leave them as little time as possible for Team East to come back and win this football game. So you're going to see a lot of running from here on out, trying to bleed this clock, make Team East use some of their timeouts, which they only have one left. So I know Coach Wallace in that huddle right now is saying, hey guys, protect the football because they're going to come after the football. Stay in bounds, and if it's not there, just throw it away. You know, if it comes down to a passing play, I can't give up any sacks. I don't want to go backwards, but the first and foremost is protect the football. They're going to be in a lot of 4-minute offense right here.
Dalen Powell, the quarterback. Shenderick Powell, the running back. On first down, they give it to Shenderick. Sweeps the left end and has a first down inside the 30. What a run by Shenderick Powell. And you see right there why he averaged as a senior 16 yards per carry.
See, my only critique of that run is stay in bounds. You don't have to go for the hurdle. Yes, the hurdle looks nice. It's sports in the highlight. The crowd goes ooh and ah. But you stop the clock, and now East doesn't have to call a timeout. If you just get to the point where I've gotten a lock and get, I'm just going to fall down right here. It keeps the clock running, and now you can bleed the clock. They should not snap this ball with time left on this clock. Every snap from here on out, when the clock is running, should be snapped at about 1 or 2 seconds.
And the handoff here is to DeAndre Exford. It's going to be a gain of 2. Clock will wind under 3 minutes now. Want to go down a fun rabbit hole? Earlier in this game, Cameron McCoy went on a run on a 3rd and 11. We thought he got a bad spot. It forced the West to try a field goal. They made that field goal to go up 10 at that point. That is right now the difference in the game. If the officials gave McCoy the spot we thought he deserved for the first down, maybe they go in to score a touchdown. Maybe they end up settling for another shorter field goal, but maybe they turn the football over.
Very true.
I don't know. Just interesting to think about. Right now, a 3-point lead for Team West, 2:15 to play. And some miscommunication between Powell and the running back. He just gets out of there himself, and he does go out of bounds.
Stay in bounds. You've essentially, now, you run out of bounds, right? There's a 2-minute warning that comes up in the 4th quarter. So you stay in bounds, you get to the 2-minute warning, instead of running out of bounds and essentially giving Team East another timeout. Those are the small plays that you, as a quarterback, as a player, that you have to remember to do. Stay in bounds. Just fall right there. Give yourself up. And the clock runs to the 2-minute warning, and they don't have an opportunity to stop the clock.
I think about the 4th down play that the Kansas City Chiefs ran last week with Chad Henne, the quick pass out to the right, and then just the slide to stay in bounds was beautifully executed. And how about this? Just give the ball to Shenderick Powell, and he'll do the rest.
Or you just give the ball to Shenderick Powell.
No reason to go out of bounds or stay in bounds on a run like that. 13 yards this time. And Shenderick Powell with another touchdown to basically put this game on ice. The extra point will put it back to 10 with under 2 to play.
And I think that right there just solidified who our offensive MVP is and he helped his team win a football game.
The extra point is good. 1:59 to play in the 4th quarter. Shenderick Powell putting on one of the best performances we've seen in the history of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. We're at AT&T Stadium, and we're back in a moment.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
What a game here in Arlington, Texas today, the East and the West, and it looks like Team West is going to get their first victory of these class of 2021 Blue-Gray All-American Bowls. They lead by 10 with under 2 to go. And once again, Jesse, it was Shanderick Powell.
Yeah, he's the star of all stars in this game today.
And the kickoff is coming here from Team West. It goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback. And so now Team East will have to go quickly. Down by 10. They do have one timeout remaining. And you cannot say enough about the job that Jalen Macon has done as the quarterback, the lone quarterback today for Team East. He has played every single snap. It's been a long football game. Of course, the 16-minute quarters here in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowls, something that makes this game so unique. Here's a low snap. Macon picks it off the turf, rolls to his right and throws on the move. That pass is caught by Goodman across the 40. He stays inbounds. And it's going to be a first down to stop the clock momentarily for Team East. Now the clock will wind, 1:43 and counting. And the officials are going to stop play here and try to get the clock situation figured out. 1:35 is what is up there right now. First down for Team East at their 43-yard line. Again, Macon back to throw, slings it out right, and that pass is caught. Omar Pickett with another catch into West territory at the 49-yard line. Good throw, and Pickett with the body control to get a foot inbounds and possibly 2 feet inbounds. Gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. 1:29. Team East with one timeout, so they've got to go quickly. Down by 10 late in the game. Macon back to pass again, looking deep out to the left, and this is caught. Jared Smith goes out of bounds to stop the clock with another first down to the 38-yard line, a gain of 11.
And that's okay. Defensively, you're telling your DBs, your safety, hey, no one gets behind you. We have to be deeper than the deepest. You got some room to give up a touchdown. But what I want to do is let them catch it in front of me, tackle them, try to keep it from going out of bounds so the clock can run.
Macon back to throw again, dumps it over the middle, and that pass is caught, but it's not going to be much of a gain, and the tackle happens inbounds. Alec McEwen with the catch out of the backfield. Clock winds, 1:10. We'll probably be under a minute now before the next snap. Team East actually going really quickly here. They're going to clock it. But before they do, there were whistles, and a timeout is called by Team West.
Team West got caught in a situation where they're trying to get some guys on the field and get guys off the field. There was some confusion, and so instead of having 12 guys on the football field, Coach Teague banged the timeout to save them from getting a penalty.
And that was a good call because at 2nd and 5, it's probably a hair or longer more than 5, so I'm not sure it would have been an automatic first down, but would have obviously made it 2nd and short. Good timeout by George Teague and Team West to stay out of the penalty. And so now 1:01 remaining, a 10-point lead for Team West. Team East with one timeout and 2nd and 5. And with just the one timeout, you're pretty much looking at a situation where you have to have a touchdown and then an onside kick. I guess technically you could have a field goal and then an onside kick, but either way, there's a lot of work to do for Team East, and another nice job here by Jared Smith to get open. I love how Macon right there just looked the other way, looked off the safety, then came back to Smith on the near side for the catch.
Watch a double move right here.
They're going to clock it with 47 seconds. And actually, the clock still winds. They're going to have to do something about that. It'll be 2nd and 10 once they figure out the clock situation. And Jared Smith, who has 4 touchdown catches on the day, is on the field right now, going to be lined up wide to the right. I would assume in at least double coverage, if not triple coverage. Yeah, they've got 3 guys over on his side of the field.
And they're going to put the clock, they're going to put 6 seconds back on the clock. Take it back to 47 seconds.
And that's the right call. That's exactly how much was on there when the spike occurred.
Or not.
Okay, so they stick with 41 seconds. Macon rolls to his right, throws, and Smith bobbles it and is not able to hold on. Incomplete pass. And it will be 2nd and 10 with 35 seconds. Well, they're in field goal range. You're talking about a 43-yard attempt. Of course, if you miss it, the game is completely over. So the analytics would say there, don't do that, obviously. They are going to put 5 seconds back up on the clock. So now 40 seconds remain here in this 4th quarter. But I'm just not sure you have enough time to go through the progression to get to a 4th down. This ball is on the turf. Macon picks it up and is hammered. A sack on the play. The clock is going to wind. And that play was made by number 73, Garrett Berger, his 2nd sack of the game. And Team East just had the call for its last timeout of the half with 26 seconds remaining.
And that play right there, Berger was the spy. He was the middle linebacker that was looking for anything, running back coming out of the backfield, quarterback taking off. I'm responsible for all of that. And when he saw the ball go down on the ground, he said, I'm going to get it. That's an instinctive play right there, great play right there. And that's a play that backed them up and made this field goal just a little bit more difficult.
So they are going to kick the field goal on 4th down into the sun here at AT&T Stadium. A 47-yard attempt out of the hold of Luke Zarapak. And Seibert gets it away, but it's no good.
No good.
So that's going to pretty much do it. The East has 1 timeout remaining. 25 seconds, and the West up by 10. And boy, both teams really fighting hard today. It's never really necessarily about who wins these games, but Jesse, you know these are competitive people. They've been playing
keep
football.
Score, Ryan.
They keep
score. The day they stop keeping score, that's the day that score doesn't matter. If you keep score and we're competing, I want to win. If it wasn't about winning and losing, they wouldn't keep score. I'm sorry, that's the competitor in me. That's the football guy in me. If they're keeping score, I want to win, period.
Well said. And I guarantee you there's not a coach down there on either side who wouldn't say the exact same thing. You could probably include the players on that as well, but in a game that in the end, if you win it or lose it, it doesn't necessarily matter moving forward. This was a pretty darn well-played game.
You know what it matters? When these guys go off to school and they're in the same conference, when these guys have made lifelong friendships and you're sitting around the water cooler and you're saying, hey man, remember when we played back in 2021 at AT&T? I kicked your butt. You lost to me.
I love it. Final score today in Arlington, the West 52, the East 42. Most valuable players, I think defensively we have an official defensive most valuable player. It's going to go to Amari Pate, the Fresno State commit for Team West. He's from Culver City High School in California, had an interception earlier in this game, and then offensively, I mean, flip a coin. between these two guys, Shanderick Powell and Jared Smith. Both of those guys certainly in the running.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're two outstanding performances. And we talked about at the top of the show is that coming into this game, you never know who's going to come out and shine. And early on, you thought it was Shanderick Smith was a runaway with it. And then all of a sudden, Jared Smith said, "Not so fast, Mr. Holly. I got something to say about it." And he turned it on. 4 touchdowns. I'm sure he had over 200 yards receiving and a fantastic performance. But in these type of games, when you have it close like that, it usually goes to the guy who was on the winning team.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That's why winning counts, Ryan Castle.
I know historically Blue Gray has wanted to award one to the winning team, one to the losing team. So if you give Amari Pate the defensive most valuable player, he's on the West, so you try to give the offensive MVP to somebody on the East. That would maybe lead you to believe that Jared Smith might be the guy that wins it. But either way, both of those guys, just incredible games today. And, really, were they guys that were on our radar coming in? Yes, absolutely. Shanderick Powell is headed to North Alabama. As we mentioned earlier, had over 28 rushing touchdowns as a senior, averaged over 16 yards per carry as a running back. Jared Smith getting a lot of love from Ohio Valley Conference schools. But were they did we know they were quite the offensive players that we saw perform today at AT&T Stadium? I would say definitively no. And yet they came out and put on a performance of a lifetime. Both of them here today on the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's why you come to these games. You come to these games to say, hey, I want to showcase my skills against the best. Yeah, I did it in my conference, and yeah, I did it in my own state. And maybe in my state, in my conference, I might have been the best. Or I might have been the second best, or whatever it may be. But now let me take my talent and put it up against some of the best from Arkansas, some of the best from Texas, some of the best from Ohio, some of the best from California, who's all on this field. And then now let me show you that I am not only the best in my area, but I'm competing against the best from other areas. And I promise you, some of these guys who've come into this game may say, hey, I was thinking about going here, committed here. By the time this tape gets out and they get a chance to see what they've done over 4 quarters of football, some of these guys and some of the coaches are going to say, wait a second now. We didn't see this guy. Let's talk to this guy and see if we can't offer him up as well.
Yeah, no question. And so what a great performance today by all of these players on both sides. A well-played game. The final score, West 52 and the East 42. That'll do it for us. We're back one more time in the class of 2021 on May the 24th, 1 p.m. kickoff right here at AT&T Stadium. The game will be, of course, tape delayed for you on the Impact Football Network and accessible the following within the next 48 hours after the game is over. So we hope you'll check that one out. Go back and watch this one again. It was an incredible game with a lot of really talented players on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we hope to see you next time. For Jesse Hawley, for Jada Teague, and our entire Impact Football Network team, I'm Ryan Castle saying so long from AT&T. The West wins it over the East 52-42. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
And number 7, Shanderick Powell.